Yo. Yeah, this shit is wild. Zoom. I do fake like the Zoom shit, but you know what I mean, it look better when there's more people on the Yo, why your background is blurred? Niggas blurring out the Nick logo and nigga know they trash. Like,
we put in work yesterday. Memphis was scared of us yesterday, boy. I ain't gonna hold you.
I mean, I ain't gonna hold you. I looked at decent except for RJ. He looked like a bum, but yeah.
Yo, it's crazy that they took the Grizzlies to OT, and RJ had the worst game ever, bro. So that's kind of
the worst game ever.
Boy, he was like 3 for 19, 3 for 18, I think.
I don't know. Every time I seen that nigga go to the basket, he was getting a bucket. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. He had like 34.
He was 3 for 18, 11 points, boy. Or 4 for 18.
Who was that?
He had 34 points. Wait, who are you talking about? Oh, you talking about RJ?
Yeah, who you talking about?
Oh, my fault. You said Ja. My fault. Yeah, RJ was. Yeah, he was dirt. I ain't gonna hold you.
Oh nah, Ja. He was toying with them. I ain't gonna hold you, bro. It's different, bro.
Yo, if y'all on y'all way in, man, make sure I hit that like button. Definitely.
Yeah, what's good, y'all? Michael Machove, what's good? We got Barrington Grant in the chat. Amber.
Mm-hmm.
What up?
We got a good show for y'all. I ain't gonna hold y'all.
What up?
Good show for y'all.
Damn, why I ain't do this before? I always do something backwards.
Oh, this thing got a light now, nigga. Like, nigga trying to be a real streamer. Fuck out of here, like, you know what I'm saying.
Like, I had a light. I'm trying to have this shit on, IG for the people.
Oh, they got the circle, John.
Oh, where my son acting like
I've been had this, bro.
He acting like you're a professional streamer. Like, what's up?
King Confidence was good.
Yo, if y'all can hear us, in the chat, put a 1 in the chat, man. I gotta make sure my audio. I sound good to y'all, or
yeah, you valid.
All right. I know my mic be mad far away. I don't know if I be sounding far away or not. But what's goody with y'all, man? How y'all day was?
I don't know how I'm gonna have it on the stand. I should have did that before. But my day was decent, man. Long day at work. Had to fucking drive home.
No, regular shit. You talking about?
He was had to drive home.
I get sad every time I got to drive home from work, man.
I see a lot of ones in the chat, so I mean, we should sound decent. I ain't gonna hold you.
Mm-hmm.
I see an ad over here. Yo, make sure tomorrow, man. We got that new episode dropping tomorrow. I'm gonna be honest with you. We moved the time around only because we're trying to figure out what's the best time that everybody gonna be on up and on YouTube and active, because we need everybody active, man. So I think we pushed it to 3 p.m. tomorrow. We just experimenting with different times, man. But we always dropping Friday. Just make sure y'all pay attention to the page to see, we're gonna always announce, when the episode gonna drop. So make sure y'all stay tuned. But definitely tomorrow, I believe 3 p.m.
That's a great episode coming out tomorrow. I mean,
Poor Man Podcast. We got, I don't know if y'all familiar with Connie Diamond.
Connie Diamond, man, she's a monster, man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely got
Def Jam.
You listen to her music?
Yeah, I bought a couple of tracks that she had on her IG.
Mm-hmm. I went to the ones that was on YouTube. I watched a few videos.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she definitely be spitting. I ain't gonna hold you, like, you know what I mean? But I ain't gonna hold you. Well, like I said on the show, Poor Man Podcasting. He was definitely Poor Man Podcasting yesterday on that episode. Make sure y'all tune in, because y'all got y'all money's worth with Poor Man Podcast. I ain't gonna hold you, man. So, yeah, make sure y'all tune in tomorrow. We're gonna have some previews throughout the show. Just to preview the episode for tomorrow. But again, remember, we drop the audios on every Tuesday, 7 a.m. We drop the audio for the new episodes.
Yo, put a 1 in the chat if y'all listening to the audio on Tuesdays, man.
Yeah, we need put a 1 in the chat, man. I need to know, man. Make sure, because we need y'all to support the audio just like y'all support the video. You know what I mean? So,
yo, even if you clean in the crib, you just playing something, play that real quick. Like, just play that for us real quick.
That's a fact.
And I'm about to say, even if I'll say some crazy. Even if you ain't listening to it, put that shit on play real quick.
That's a fact. Like,
I was on Spotify.
Yeah.
They got some old episodes on there.
They got the old clips on there?
They got the old episodes on there. I listened to like 5 episodes earlier, man. I ain't gonna lie. Them shit's entertaining though. I ain't gonna lie, man. They entertaining.
Yeah, I mean, I ain't going front, man. If y'all really want to dig into the archives, man, we got episodes, man, from the bottom. Started from when Drake said started from the bottom. Now we here, like, yeah, those are the episodes from. I think we was talking about sports. We was talking about motherfucking everything in that shit. Right?
That's when I still had waves looking like, you know what I mean, tsunamis on. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know about all of that.
We had,
Come on, my boy.
That's what we had. Bars of the day and
leave it at that. Leave it at that.
I'm trying to think else what we had.
We had other things.
What else we had?
Juice segment.
Yeah, I had a segment.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Yeah, my fault. Yeah, we had that segment as well. You know what I mean? But yeah, definitely make sure y'all listen to that audio podcast.
Yo, Cash App is at Dailyrapupcrew.
Oh yeah, matter of fact, my fault. Let me put the information up there, man. Yo, we need y'all to support, man. We definitely need y'all to support. You know what I mean? This is an independent owned operation, man. We ain't out here owned by people. We out here, you know, still working to get to this, man. We still working a regular job. We still trying to provide y'all content. So, you know, any support that we could get from y'all, man, definitely means a lot.
Yo, King Confidence say you don't ever wear fitted? Your head too big?
Nah. I don't wear fitteds. I might wear a snapback or not my fault, a dad hat, but I don't really wear fitteds, man.
Nah, I ain't never see Eli with a hat on.
Yo, King Confidence.
I like to show off my headline. Like, you know what I mean? A lot of niggas don't got headlines.
We all got headlines here.
We trying to put on that fitted, you know what I mean?
Yo,
like
King Confidence, that nigga, he one of them niggas that put on his hat backwards like Ash Ketchum from Pokemon. That's how the nigga wear a hat like that. I've seen
it's crazy because I was gonna wear a hat today too. Like,
the only time Eli wear hats when he about to eat ass, so you can swing it around like Ash Ketchum, like you said.
Yo, give it like 3 to 5 more years. We're gonna see who still got a headline. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yo,
like,
man. Only reason why my long luscious hair ain't out right now, you know what I'm saying? Is because I need to get my shit retwisted. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. So anyway, man,
know what I'm talking about. Shout out to the niggas with the dreads. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Yo, we got some ladies. We got some ladies, man, that's going to join the conversation. We got a pretty interesting conversation tonight, man. I'm gonna bring them in so they can introduce themselves real quick.
And say the location where y'all from.
I really gotta get my soundboard popping.
Yo, what's up, ladies? What's up?
Hi.
What's going on, y'all?
How y'all doing?
We're doing great. How y'all doing?
Man, we doing pretty good. Okay, damn.
Oh, India
popped up, like, you know what I'm saying? Popped up like she was on a TikTok challenge, like.
Not yet.
No.
Yo, what's goody? I guess we could start. Since India. Oh, damn, she left. All right, well, Rose here. Rose,
I had to grab my phone.
Rose, introduce yourself real quick. Let them know they can find you at.
Hey everybody, how y'all doing? I'm Rose from Atlanta, Georgia, and y'all can follow me on TikTok at miss.babyrose. I use it on my Instagram, but go ahead, follow me on there.
She be talking her shit, man.
Oh, Nicole, my fault. Yeah, you can go now.
What's up, everybody? I am Denisha Nicole. You can find me on Instagram at Denisha Nicole. And that's it.
A Dailyrapupcrew alum.
Yo, India, you can let the folks know where they can find you at.
Of course, India__Michelle on TikTok and Instagram. My YouTube is India Michelle. And you can also find me on Sundays at 6 p.m. Central Time at Ultimate Black Man Radio.
Ultimate Black Man Radio?
Yes.
Okay.
What y'all talk about over there?
Well, I'm with Gabe, and he kind of invited me as a co-host. So we talk about similar things like this. Like last time we was talking about the video of the woman feeling insecure about her looks with her friends. And then this Sunday, we're talking about child support.
Oh, shit.
That should be good.
Great topic.
People that's in the chat, y'all better tune in. They got the secrets over there for y'all.
That's what I'm saying, man. Like, all right, so before we get into this first topic, yo, make sure you hit that like button, man. It's free. I ain't gonna hold you. It's the freest thing. And the crazy part, before I was a YouTuber, I never really understood the importance of just hitting a like button. But now that I'm a YouTuber, I'll be like, damn.
I think it's our karma coming back to us for all the videos we watching.
Nah. We giving out too much fire.
I don't think it's nothing like malicious, like people doing it on purpose. I just think you're just watching the video.
You're just oblivious to how important
I hear you, but what about the people like, oh, I'm still watching, or why do I gotta listen to what you're saying? You be like, what? It's people that say stupidness. I ain't gonna hold you.
I guess. You know what I'm saying? Yo, Rose, I want to get into this first topic. It says, is the patriarchy affecting Kanye West? I know we all been seeing and hearing Kanye. What's your thoughts on Kanye his rant and his rhetoric as of recent?
Okay. So honestly, let's be real about it. Kanye has a history of using political discourse to garner attention. George Bush doesn't care about Black people. Like it's like, we know at the end of the day, his end goal is to garner attention. But when we talk about how white hegemonic masculinity has affected his career, I think that in the Black community, for Kanye, when he came out, he was like the nerd, right? Like when he came out, he wasn't K-faded up. He wasn't a real thug in these streets, like the way that he came up, which I think in the hip hop community at the time that he was coming out, we didn't have a Chance the Rapper. We didn't have a J. Cole. We didn't have these more non-thug, non-gangster aesthetic rappers. And I think a lot of people made him feel less masculine due to the patriarchy, because men are held to the standard of white hegemonic masculinity. And I think over the years, number on him to where he feels like he has to really go into that role more. And I think now it's kind of like, I think it's manifesting this kind of like weird space that he's in, where he's trying to show that he's masculine, show that he's taking charge, but the white patriarchal systems around him, and a lot of times when you hear him talk, he's complaining about how people in positions of power are disempowering him. But he does not realize, in my opinion, I don't think he's really waking up to the real problem, is that he will never, ever fit the white hegemonic masculinity standard in the eyes of the public. Therefore, that kind of discrepancy, I think, is also affecting him on a personal level, to where he can't demand the kind of respect that he wants from the people that really should be giving it to him. He doesn't need our respect. He needs the higher ups.
When you say he doesn't need our respect, what do you mean by that?
Clearly, I mean, he's losing respect from the masses. He's losing respect from the population. He's losing respect from a lot of his fan base. And
you think he's losing respect?
I don't think that's his end goal, is to gain and garner our respect. I think he's doing this because he feels rejected by the system. He feels rejected by the patriarchy, and he feels rejected by the white systems that have really controlled his business endeavors up until this point. And I think he's lashing out at that system.
I really think that Kanye West he's at a point in his life where he don't need nothing from nobody. Like he's worth what, $7 billion at this point? Like the richest Black man that touched the United States. Like what else do you need from people? Like he just needs to go somewhere, shut up, and live out the rest of his life. Like,
I feel like he needs a lot, but he's just not accepting of what he needs. That's what I feel. He needs a lot.
Also,
and I do believe that when he said George Bush don't care, that might have been his only genuine comment that he's made, like, of that nature.
What do you mean?
Like, I don't think he did that for attention. I think that's genuinely how he felt.
I think that I was about to say, let's talk about mental health in the Black community. Mm-hmm. Also, again, because of the patriarchy, men are not allowed to admit when they need help. They are not allowed to admit when they're struggling, because they're seen as weaker, or that they're not meeting up to this provider role that we've put on men. And even though he does meet that provider role, he does meet it, he feels like, in terms of like his mental health, not where it needs to be. As much as he's a provider, his mental health is like not equalized, not equal to that. And he doesn't want to admit it. He doesn't want to admit that he needs help. And he'd rather just lean on the fact that we've always viewed him as a genius and just go with that.
Well, how many people we know in this world that might need help mentally would admit that they need help mentally? A lot of people deny that. If you tell them they're crazy, they're gonna be saying, "I'm not crazy, you crazy." That's just like human nature.
I feel like we kind of lean too much on Kanye West being quote unquote crazy. I just feel like, we all like grew up listening to Kanye West and stuff like that. I still like him, but now we're too focused on, it's his mom, it's Kim, it's him being have mental issues. It's mental issues plus him being a coon. Like, but we don't want to say that because we like Kanye West. You can't say, oh, well, my black kid's this, and then, oh, well, she's sleeping with Pete Davidson. Now all of a sudden, oh, we need to go against the Jews, but then I'm jealous of Jewish people. And the reason he's tied with Candace Owens, and I listen to a lot of Tariq Nasheed lives, and I guess him being tied to Candace Owens is he's trying to buy this app, this like this white supremacist app, well-known app. Well, we don't know because I mean we're not white, but he's trying to buy this app from them. So that's why he's trying to get real close. The same thing that he tried to do with Mark, the guy from Facebook. Yeah.
And you know, supposedly the app is supposed to be Candace's husband's.
Yeah, that's his app.
I was actually looking into that to find out does anyone know like for sure if it's her husband's app?
Well, from my understanding on the live that I heard today, it's his app and he's trying to, I'm guess, buy it or whatever. I don't know if he's trying to do the, what's it called? The spook who sat by the door, where he's trying to flip it, where he's trying to act like he's a coon. He's trying to act like he's crazy. I mean, yes, does he have certain mental issues? Yes, but Kanye West is not stupid. But he just go on this tangent. I just don't like how his fans, it's kind of like they the male versions, or if you are a female that support Kanye West, like the female version, male and female version of the barbs, like Nicki Minaj, like you don't have a mind of your own. Just because you like Kanye West, that doesn't mean you cannot say, okay, this nigga, can we cuss?
Yeah.
That don't mean that this guy cannot be stupid. Like he's not a genius. He's not smart. He just talking out his butthole. He did the same exact thing when he was on Ellen DeGeneres, and he was going from 1 to 5 to 10. He was going all over the place, but we tried to clap it because we like Kanye West talking about he's a genius. No, he's not. He's an
opportunist. He's playing his cards right.
I feel
and
like
for you to be a billionaire sitting on that type of money, at the end of the day, you could be a billionaire, whatever. You're still a black man in America. They can still shut you down. That's why he had to do this whole thing where talking to Piers Morgan and other people about coming for the Jews. See, when it's cool when he's coming for black people, but as soon as he's talking about having anti-Semitic conversations, they about to do you hell even worse than they did Nick Cannon.
And the thing that's the thing with the American system as a whole when it comes to addressing black issues is they will let black people make fools out of themselves on stage, like literally and figuratively. But
yeah, I don't think, I know there can be parts of his rhetoric that sounds like he's an opportunist, but when I listen to Kanye, I'm not listening to see if he's 100% right about everything that he's saying. I'm listening to what he's trying to expose. I'm listening to what he's saying about who controls the media, who controls these campaigns that's pushing out these vaccines into our community. Like, it's easy to, like, when you listen to him, there could be a lot of truth into what he says. But if you're looking for that one thing, or you're going off the past, well, he said this to try to discredit him. Of course, the media is going to try to make it seem like he's the most mentally ill person or he's crazy, because they don't necessarily want you to believe everything that he's saying. I do agree that there is some form of, selfishness there. Maybe he is just only trying to expose Jews because he's trying to buy the app or whatever the case is. Does that mean what he's saying is any less true? There's a lot of people who speak about the Jews, and the Jews are so quick to try to, paint him as, oh, he's crazy or he's anti-Semitic or this, that, and the third. So sometimes I look at Kanye as, he's a guy who's polarizing and he's going to get under people's skin and he knows exactly what to do to garner attention. But there might be truth into what he's saying at times. Like, you get what I'm saying? And we can't just dismiss him because, oh, he's crazy. Because, again, our community is the first to try to, cancel somebody or silence somebody or take down their interviews. But we never have that same energy for nobody else when they speak anti-black rhetoric. You know what I mean? Like, or they say something towards or about black people. We're not that quick to try to cancel or silence them. You know what I mean? Trump was accused of rape by 15 different women, and he still had people riding for him. Like, not saying it's right or wrong, but he still had people rallying for him. You get what I'm saying? So when Kanye's speaking about certain topics that a lot of people are scared to speak up against because of cancellation, because these people are in such high positions that they control their paycheck and their family's paycheck. So it's like, all right, well, let's just be quiet about, this conversation, because at the end of the day is affecting my pay, then, we can't overlook those things just to be able to call him crazy or say he has mental illness and things of that nature.
I mean, I get what you're saying, but it's because this is the thing with Kanye. He'll say some real deep stuff and then turn around and say, I got t-shirt Meek Mills, and then start singing. And it's like, okay, you going from one, it's like we get you, but then you're losers. And it's like, stay on the course. Don't get to talking about one thing, and then now we go from Kim Kardashian and Pete Davidson having sex in front of a fireplace. Like,
or bringing
what
up.
are you talking about? I'm not saying that we should like mess with his money or he can't say what he want to say, but at the end of the day, make it make sense while you're talking.
If he's trying to make a statement or he's trying to expose whatever it is feels that's going on, he's not consistent with that. Like she just mentioned, he's bringing up Kim, he's bringing up ASAP and Rihanna and her assistant, he's bringing up all these different things, like, so you just really don't know what to believe or what to even attempt to believe, because he's just all over the place. Like, how do you explain all that other stuff outside of what you just explained, Eli? Like, it's not consistent, it's not adding up. I feel like he is just, and his fans and people, it's hard for them to accept that he can be mentally ill, he can be a genius, he can be a billionaire, he can be a narcissist, he can be all those things. You can't just say, oh, he's not this because he's a genius at making music, he has great music. He can be all of those things in one. Like, I feel like Kanye really needs help. He needs direction. He does not have like people. He has yes men around him who are just allowing him to practice his freedom of speech, but at the same time, like, he's not moving about it correctly as far as whatever it is he's trying to expose, if he is trying to expose something. Like, he's just too all over the place. I feel like I wouldn't necessarily say attention, but he's not calling the shots. He's not in position to be the boss anymore. You get what I'm saying? Like,
with his finances and his resources, he should be. Just like Eli said, I do feel like there was some points and some gems that he said in that interview. Like, he's, a lot of people just look at him wearing the White Lives Matter t-shirt, but in retrospect, they say that, Jews own the Black Lives Matter name. So maybe that's a way of him putting light on that. You get what I'm saying? I'm not here to figure out the puzzles, and maybe he can't say everything. My problem with Kanye is I feel like with you having so much power and resources and financially up there, what are you doing to invest in the community to make us, like, why can't he go behind a politician that's up and coming and, fund his campaign to make everything come out to the light? You know what I'm saying? With you wanting to be in the spotlight, which it does take a star to, put something out there. But like how India said, it's like you can't jump across the board, because how we gonna follow our leader if we feel like our leader ain't sane?
But who said Ye wants to be a leader though? Like, you know what I'm saying?
He does.
He
wants to be president.
He wants to be president in 24.
Open up that Donda school, like, it's just, I don't know. He's all over the place.
He wants to be leader.
Honestly, I feel like, especially with the anti-Semitic comments, I just want to be real in the fact that anti-Semitism has not reached the Black community yet, okay? Anti-Semitism, for the most part, has not reached the Black community. We don't really understand as a community what anti-Semitism really is. And the major aspect of anti-Semitism is the rhetoric spun during Nazi Germany that Jews are controlling people, that Jews are controlling the financial institutions, that Jews are controlling the banks, that they're controlling the media. That was what Hitler weaponized and used to other somebody else. Because let's be real, in order to gain political clout, most politicians go the route of finding an enemy to unite a certain group of people, right? So I feel like when it comes to the Jew thing, like when he said that that Black people are really Jews, no, he's literally bringing up a very small section of the Black community that believes in the Black Israelite conspiracy theory, and he's weaponizing those people, and he's really good at weaponizing his fan base too, just like Nicki Minaj. I think it was Denisha who said, like, the barbs.
That was me.
Oh, that was okay. It was India, and he's really good at weaponizing his fan base to actively attack other people, and not only that, spread his ideology. Okay.
So the Jews, so you don't think in mass the Jews don't control the media or the banks or
a narrative? White men control the media. There's 3 families, specifically 2 men, who control the media. Okay, and them being Jewish, whether they're Jewish or not, has nothing to do with their power and their influence. Okay, nepotism is real, yes, but that dangerous narrative, you're going down an alt-right Nazi pipeline when you start saying that Jews are controlling the media and they're controlling financial institutions. That is literally word for word Nazi rhetoric. It's dangerous. And he's weaponizing it because Black people are not used to that rhetoric. Like I said before, anti-Semitism has not reached the Black community yet.
I can't necessarily agree on that one. I think there's a lot of Jewish people that are in positions of power, whether it's behind the scenes or not. There's a lot of Jewish families that own a lot of the infrastructures. A lot of these Jewish people do own a lot of these record labels that a lot of Black artists are signed to. So to sit there and be like, oh, well, it's dangerous. Like I said, I'm not saying it's 100% true, but we can't sit here and act like there isn't a level of influence that goes into when we talk about Viacom and these people that control these television networks. You know what I mean? We can't say that when you look at the higher ups or the CEOs, they are not of Jewish, religion. Like, you know what I mean? So
of them, yes, but not all of them. And here's the thing as well with that. We need to stop using identity politics to differentiate different groups of people. Let's be real about this, okay? There are only 2 different classes of people in this country that really matter are the working class and the bourgeoisie. Those are the 2 main classes of people in this country that are different and actually matter. Resources are not divided. They are divided against racial lines, but racial lines are a consequence of poverty. It just so happens that Black people are in greater levels of poverty than others. But white poor people are in the same boat as us.
So why is it dangerous?
People are in the same boat as we are.
Wow. No. Because white people, even if they're dirt poor, meth out in trailer parks, they still have the "I'm white" card. Okay.
That's true. Facts.
They was born white, so it doesn't matter how dirt poor. You can't compare a Black person in the projects to a white poor person. They could still be uplifted versus a Black poor person.
Easily.
Or even a Black billionaire, he still has more power even over the Black billionaire just because he was born white. So race always is going to be into play.
100% agree. However, I do believe that Kanye West has more in common interests or what are more aligned with those rich Jewish people than everyday Black people like you and me. His interests are more aligned with them because of his tax bracket than you and me. So it's very disingenuous for him to act like he really cares about us when we know Black billionaires like him and Oprah don't really care about us. Beyonce and Jay-Z don't really care. They don't care. Let's be real about it, because they've reached a certain tax bracket where these issues, racial issues, they don't press as hard at their material conditions as it does for everyday folks.
Well, the reason that's because you don't see celebrities, and that's why we need to stop, trying to look at entertainers and athletes as the spokesperson when it comes to politics, is because their money is coming from people at the top that doesn't look like them. So if they sit here and speak on certain issues, they're going to get canceled. That's why you don't hear rappers talking about, like that one time, Young Thug, somebody asked him, so how you feel about, I want to say, was it Mike Brown? And he responded, I mean, we just out here getting money. We out here fucking bitches and this and that. So why would I sit here and try to put the microphone to somebody like Young Thug when he need to just worry about his music and stuff like that? The person that we need to be putting the microphone to is people like Tariq Nasheed, Shahrazad Ali, people like that actually know what they're talking about.
True.
I agree.
That's fair. I think it's easy because Rose used the word "is dangerous." You know what I mean? When people speak like this anti-Semitic rhetoric, but we never have that energy when these folks speak anti-Black rhetoric. Like, we're not going to them being like, "Oh, that's extremely dangerous." It's like we almost put a cape on for this community when that community has done nothing for us. And I'm not saying to go and say whatever the case is, but if every little thing is dangerous, and like even if it's not, just speaking their name becomes anti-Semitic and it's dangerous all of a sudden, then it's almost like we're putting on a cape to defend them, and they never put on a cape to defend us.
I don't think most black people were mad about the anti-Semitic comments. I think most people were mad at the George Floyd comments that he made, that saying that the police officer didn't really kill him and his knee wasn't really on his neck. I think that's what most black people was mad at. The Jewish people and everybody else was mad at the anti-Semitic comments.
That's fair. But regardless of the George Floyd, and like I said, I don't agree with him, but on those comments. But before, when it was just, oh, he's anti-Semitic, how many black people was caping for the Jewish community and trying to cancel him and trying to silence him and trying to do this? Like I said, it's because those people are ultimately the people that's controlling their paychecks. And when Kanye's saying things like, I'm trying to save our people, help our people, whether you want to take his word at face value or not, like Kanye's been the only person to actually, with his platform, to speak about issues containing the black community and shit. We even having this conversation about this because of Ye. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like all the people, Diddy, Hove, Beyond, nobody ever has spoke up and said things like that. You know what I mean? So the fact that we could agree or disagree, but trying to cancel or silence somebody, to me, is an issue. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
and with you having that power and all that access to, catch the whole world's attention, you think that was the best way to approach the situation?
I mean, no, I'm not saying that it's not. But again, if we're taking a whole 3-hour interview and then finding something that we don't disagree with to try to justify everything he said in that interview and be like, oh, well, he's crazy, this, that, and the third. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if 10 years from now, niggas look back on that interview and be like, yo, Kanye was really trying to say something. But we was too caught up in getting triggered or having a certain like reaction to one sentence or one line or trying to dissect or take things out of context. So, I'm not saying Kanye is the perfect individual, but I don't feel like we should be quick to try to silence our people when we don't have that same energy for other communities when they speak ill or anti-black rhetoric. Like, you know what I mean?
I do believe he needs to get with a group of people that can help him articulate what he's trying to say. Exactly. Come out there and make himself look or whatever. That's how he want to look or whatever the case may be. If you always come out, yo, teach me and this, that, and that, if you just think what you're gonna say and I gotta take it or leave it, that's just a recipe for disaster.
Yeah, because we get to even Tariq Nasheed. If you ask certain people about his rhetoric, they'll say the same thing about, oh, he doesn't know his rhetoric is dangerous.
Speaking of that, I don't mean to cut you off because I love me some Tariq now, and I see people in the comments talking about something. Well, why would we sit here and listen to an ex-pimp? First of all, where you from? Because you don't even know nothing about no Tariq Nasheed that we sit here talking about. So he's an ex-pimp, but then in the comments talking about some Kanye 2024. But anyway, continue. I just had to
Hey, get to the super chats real quick.
Yeah, get to I don't like them being on the screen too long. Like, we even get to the one that you just exited, bro. Like, it was on the screen for 10 minutes, bro. Like, so I was like, damn, I'm trying to see everybody's face. So yeah.
Oh man. But shout out to King Confidence. He had a couple super chats in here, man. I can't even find that one right now. GSH everything said, keep up the great content, brothers. I just can't with the victim Olympic mindsets from these women.
What are you talking about? What? Okay, that's why I'm not good at reading the comments because I would be all day.
What is you talking about?
A lot of men find pleasure in triggering women. That's why you just have to stay calm.
Let me turn that camera off.
King Confidence said J. Cole said everything that needs to be said about Ye way before he became a millionaire. Billionaire, part of my typo. Diego said Parler's the name of the app. That's the app I was talking about earlier.
Yes. I don't even want to say the name because I don't want people looking it up.
I mean, they can find it regardless.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to
remember that the true enemy and ops out here uses fear and envy to control our people. They taught us that envy is stronger than adulation.
Adulation.
Yeah, so now the comment I was trying to make about Tariq is that, depending on his rhetoric, certain communities might say he's extremist or, they could take apart of his interviews or, and try to make it seem like, oh, mate, he doesn't know what he's talking about. So I don't think anybody is ever going to be a perfect spokesperson for, our issues in our community. But I do agree with you, maybe Kanye should do a better job at articulating his thoughts. You know what I mean? That way.
Back in the day, he had like people like Dame Dash before Dame Dash kind of like, I don't know what he's doing now, but he had what Tariq will say, like a coat puller, somebody like, hey man, you need to do it like this. Cause like Judith said, he has too many yes men because they on the payroll and they still trying to keep their job.
Yeah, and that is another issue I have as well, man. But I just think in general, we're never gonna strive as a community if people control, if we don't control our own infrastructures, like financial infrastructures, because at the end of the day, say what you will, but people are only going to stand up they're going to stand up as much as the person that's controlling their finances allows it. So yeah, we might need people like Charlemagne or people to speak up, but at a certain point, it's going to get to a point like, all right, well, this is affecting my pockets, and I don't want to take away money from my family, so I'm going to be quiet. You get what I'm saying? And we're never going to get anywhere as a people. We're too scared to speak up because people control our finances. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I feel that.
Yeah.
All right. So is another chat there, King?
Yeah. Okie Boy said the way the world's set up, they wouldn't let Malcolm Little turn into Malcolm X. They always bringing up Tariq past soy boys in the chat.
Exactly.
Yeah, and that's another thing. We quick to bring up somebody's past, man. They trying to do something for our community now. And what we gonna do? Dig up a tweet 10 years ago, 5 years ago. What
I gotta stop.
You know what I mean? And that's
when
always
the nigga was like 15. Then they know what the hell's going on in the world. Like what does that even have to do with you as adult?
It is people just want to troll just for the sake of trolling, just like how Rose said, just to kind of get you all stirred up, to get you off the course on the main focus, so you can be like, oh well, he was a pimp or Malcolm was a pimp. Like, okay, what we doing right now?
Exactly.
Right.
He definitely every day, all day. I ain't gonna hold you. Every time I heard that man speak,
it's like you don't believe that people could change and become better and mature.
What was you doing 5 years ago?
Exactly.
Yeah, y'all want to know what I was
doing. Roderick said rap is anti-black rhetoric.
I mean, I can agree with that. I can agree with that, absolutely.
But who's actually going to the concerts, to these rap concerts? I do listen to rap. But if we're going to be honest, who's behind these record labels? Who's pushing them to, they don't want to hear a J. Cole or a Rakim or,
J. Cole style. Let's not get that confused.
No, I'm not saying that, but
that's not what they want.
Young boy.
Who controls the radio that doesn't put J. Cole on that shit?
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but again, this is a talking point that Ye is trying to communicate when he says certain people in these communities have control over our culture. And when he says stuff like that, like I said, I don't listen to see if he's saying everything 100% right. Yeah, he's going to say some things that's polarizing, cool, but I'm listening to what he's trying to expose, because there's parts in there where he's trying to let people know, like, I've been in these higher places. Like, I know what the narrative the media is trying to convey. Like, we talk about, I don't even know if I want to even talk about this topic, but we talk about a certain vaccine that was going on, a couple of months ago, and people was pushing that crazy. That talk is quiet now. You get what I'm saying? I've never taken that vaccine. I'm perfectly fine, but at one point they were trying to push that heavily, and it felt like specifically in our communities. For what reason? Like, you get what I'm saying? And
that's because we're being disproportionately affected by COVID because we were essential workers.
Who was being disproportionately affected?
Black people were being disproportionately affected by COVID because we are essential workers. Most Black people are working in the grocery stores. They're working at the places that we still need workers. And that's why they pushed vaccines on the Black community. And that was.
But when have they ever prioritized the Black community ever in human history?
I was just about to say that.
You think the government genuinely cares? Like, oh, let's save the Black people and the people that they've never done that. So all of the sudden now they want to help us and care about our health. They've never done that. You know what I mean?
They had a commercial. They have
been affected in these healthcare systems more than anybody else. Like, but do they make an initiative to be like, let's give Black women a proper, the proper care that they need in these hospitals? They don't do that. So now all of a sudden, they care about a vaccine being pushed to our people. Like, I believe that's cap. Like, that's just my take on it. Like,
Okay. It's so contextual there's so much context when it comes to that. For one, like an epidemic, if an epidemic is catastrophic, you see what it did to our economy. It is catastrophic. So imagine, especially in our capitalistic society, and the people on the lowest class are the essential workers that we need them. We need the people in the lowest tiers to revive this economy. These are the people in our labor force. So if our labor force is dying, whether they're black, white, or purple or blue, this government is going to do whatever they can to make sure we're still alive to work.
But what labor force was that? Everybody was at home. Nobody was really. It wasn't that many essential black workers for them to be like, oh, let's prioritize this community to get like. I understand what you're saying, but I gotta call cap on that. You know what I mean? I don't know. It's like
if it was a spaceship and they was letting niggas in, I'm pretty sure we won't be invited.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We had to fucking evacuate this earth. You think they're gonna prioritize? Oh, this black people are the minority. Let's like. I don't think they care that enough to prioritize our health. Like, you know what I mean? But that could be me. I could be very much wrong on this topic. I do want to get to this next topic. India, where you at?
But yeah, King, we can get to that super chat.
I'm here. I'm just, fixing me a little plate. It's late, so I'm hungry. So, but I'm here.
Roderick said, "Who's making the music? We are. Jews see a demand in the market and make money off it. We create the demand. It's simple economics. We got to take accountability. Black women are pushing F&F type music."
But we can't just point at the women. Men been making music about violence and calling women bees and all this other extra shit, getting women pregnant, disappearing, all this other shit that men be doing the same shit. So we can't just point at the women, even though they in the rise right now.
That's just like a good cop out. I even seen in the comments where they all sit here and listen to Cardi B. Like, come on now, like that is. Have a good argument if you're gonna have an argument.
Yeah, it's coming from both sides, y'all. Keep it real.
Talk about killing black men for decades, and now y'all just want female rap just got popular. Now y'all want to talk about female rap.
Now, yeah, I agree. Yeah, we had a culture of disrespecting black women, of talking about killing each other. We still do that to this day. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, as much as we gotta hold everybody accountable, especially the men in that sector. But India, I got this topic real quick that I'm gonna play the video, and I kind of want you to explain what you meant in this video.
So someone sent me this video of Anton Daniels, who's also tied to lapeef podcast, and basically he was like, stop protecting black women. Now, from my understanding, he doesn't hate black women. He's actually married to a black woman. On the clip, he was basically reacting to a live that he was on, which is lapeef, and I'm guessing the situation between him and Kayla, that's one of the co-hosts on lapeef. And I've seen her a few times and heard, how controversial she is and how she rubs black men the wrong way. But his whole argument is not saying that he doesn't want to protect black women, but he's talking about the group of black women, not all, but the sector of black women who will sit here and give black men a hard time and bash them over and over again, but you still want their protection. You're competing with black men, but then have a problem with 50-50. You're say you want to be submissive, but you really don't want the black man's leadership. You'd rather have a white man's leadership. And black men are tired of getting the short end of the stick. And I will feel the same way. I'm somewhere want to be with a black woman, and then I'm somewhere getting knocked down because she's saying that I'm not doing enough, or I'm not buying this or doing that for her. So F me. Like, what type of crap is that, ladies? And then
you said a lot in that video. I ain't gonna hold you, man, but you kind of want to just paraphrase real quick, your stance on that. The whole, we hear a lot in our community about, black women not being protected and this, that, and the third. Can you explain that video real quick?
Okay, make sure I wasn't mute. But somebody had sent me this from back home, and I was like, okay, let me just kind of check it out. So I didn't see the whole video of what he was talking about. I just seen the clip. And he was basically saying, like, black women, y'all say y'all want equal opportunity, but then do the opposite of equal opportunity. Y'all say y'all, even like when I say about the 50-50 thing, y'all say y'all want equal opportunity, but have a problem with 50-50. Oh, he's broke. He need to be doing this. He need to be doing that. And it's like, okay, girl, I'm gonna need for you to kind of give me something before I sit here and start protecting you. Because if I sit here, like, okay, for instance, like a Blueface and a Krishan, I'm sitting here trying to protect this black woman, but then you'll sit here and go back and forth with this dude and I'm somewhere in the hospital and got my head busted open because I'm here protecting you. You going back to him? Like, make it make sense. But then you want to do that for a white guy, though. You want to do that for other races. It's like you'll give other races a pass, just like how we were saying about Kanye West. You'll give other races a pass, but when it comes to black men, I even heard from people like Cynthia G. Black men need to be aboard and this and that and the third. We give too much hell on black men just for us to turn around and say, "Oh, well, protect us," after we done ished on them for years.
Rose, what's your thoughts on this topic?
Okay, like I said before, like the what's it called? You remember the last podcast that we did? I mentioned that we need to give Black women grace when it comes to stuff like that, and I still stand by that. I feel like the reason you see so many Black women coming forward and saying that they don't feel protected by the men in our community, and if there's so many women with a shared experience of not feeling protected by the men in our community, and they've been speaking out about it for a long time, I'm saying, like, why don't we just look into that and see what it is? When you look at the statistics, Black women are out earning Black men. So this 50-50 thing is not necessary.
That's incorrect. That's incorrect. Black women are more educated, but they're not out earning Black men on an average income. They're not out earning Black men. And we could go to, I got the CDC right here. I could bring up the CDC report. You know what I'm saying? Because I just don't like that narrative that's simply not true. Like, y'all are more educated, y'all have more degrees, but that doesn't necessarily equate to out earning or out more money than Black men. But you could go ahead.
Okay. But in that sense, like, a lot of Black women are already living the 50-50 lifestyle. Like, normal Black women are contributing significantly to their household. A lot of them are doing it on their own. It's actually 100% that they're just contributing to, to their household. So I think that when we hear Black women complaining about the state of, the gender dynamics in our community, we have to listen to them. Like, just listen to them and hear what they have to say. Of course, listen to the men as well. Like, I understand men who feel a little bit disempowered because maybe they don't meet the physical requirements. Maybe they don't meet the financial requirements. I understand. Like, it's hard. The pressure that men are put under in society, especially Black men, when they're just trying to protect, when they're just trying to provide, a lot of them, it's difficult. But when we look at the greater oppressive systems that have divided our community, instead of bickering at each other, we should work on protecting each other. We should work on working with one another. A lot of Black families are already doing this 50-50 thing. It's not as unheard of or as rare as people like to make it seem. That's all I have to say about that.
I don't think there's enough families for people to be doing 50. I think the women is just single by themselves with their kids doing 100% of the work. I don't think there's enough families to be like, oh, well, we already doing the 50-50 thing. Because I think that's what we're lacking in our community is the family structure, the nuclear family. I'm an advocate of the of marriage. I don't want to sound like Hafiz or anything, but I'm an advocate of marriage and nuclear family. You know what I mean? But I don't see enough of that in our community to be like, well, women are already doing 50-50. I see women doing 100% of the work because they don't have a partner. A lot of them are single mothers in that aspect. So I totally understand where you're coming from. Nicole, what you think about this topic? Okay.
Agree with India. And like I agree with you as well. I feel like it's not enough family structure. But I really agree with what India said. I feel like we require and ask for so much, but we don't know how to what's the word I'm looking for? We don't know how to submit. Like we don't want to submit. Like we want to be the boss. Like you said, we want to make the rules, or we want to be in charge, but then at the same time we want someone to lead, or we want them to be in charge and be the man, but we're not willing to submit to them leading and being a man. And I feel like that a lot of times it's because we're going off of what we've been through, our traumas, our past traumas. So we don't know how to accept when we do see different things. Like coming from my personal experiences, like I've been in horrible relationships. I've been in domestic violence relationship. So when I did get into my current relationship, at first I didn't know how to accept, all the good things that were coming out of that relationship. I was pushing him away. I was, like I wasn't trying to follow his lead when he was really like leading. And that's because of my past experiences. And I feel like that's where the disconnect comes when it comes to like relationships and learning how to be submissive, or learning how, learning each other and providing what you both need within that relationship. It's just a disconnect that we gotta get together, I feel like, because we definitely need more families. Like,
however, I do feel like we always skip on the part that how much some women rely on the government assistance. You get what I'm saying? With that, that's how some women control the power of their homes. We can say they're doing 100%, but they have government assistance, and that's that. They don't want to lose that. That's why they don't let the man in the house. That's why a man can't lead you, because you let the government lead you. And I mean, there's a lot of stuff that people don't want to admit.
This is my thing. Might have to switch gears just a little bit, because like we always complain about the men and how they dusty and pookies and ray-rays, but who are raising these men? It's the women who are raising them, because like Ju said, they're raised by single moms, and these men have on, like, you can kind of tell when a man it was raised with some male influence, and when he was raised by a whole bunch of women influence. He's very catty, just like some of the men in these comments. Not all of y'all, but some of the men in these comments, want to bicker back and forth. And it's like, okay, I'm not about to sit here and bicker back and forth with a grown man. Have something to really talk about if you're going to really talk about something. A lot of women, we need more people like me, child, because we need more women like me to actually be like, you know what? I was making mistakes when I was younger, and now I am suffering the consequences of keep dealing with these type of men. And like somebody did say in the comments, you need to choose better men. Now, I'm not taking the accountability, the BS that some of the men are doing, because it is some F dudes out there that will sit here and be in wolf in sheep's clothing. But ladies, we do need to take accountability on the men that we're dating. Don't sit here and keep dealing with a man over and over again for umpteenth years, and then get pregnant, and then want to complain about, oh, well, why the men are not protecting us. You decide to open your legs, let him nut in you raw, and now you're a single mother, and now you're trying to figure out all the answers. Don't try to get the answers online. Even though, yes, I do talk about relationships, but I'm not your damn therapist. You need to actually get a therapist, actually put in the work, and then you will see some results. And that goes for me. That goes for everybody in this chat and out, in the world. You know what I'm saying? So then that's when we will see, first of all, people need to put the damn phone down. And I know this coming from a person that's always on their phone, because I am a content creator, but get off of social media and actually put in the work in your actual life. And this
real life. People are absent in real life.
Real life. Okay. How I talk on here is how I talk in real life. I get my talking points from Tariq Nasheed, for whoever was coming from Tariq Nasheed, not from Kevin Samuels. And shout out RIP to Kevin Samuels, because I like Kevin Samuels, and shout out to crew, and shout out to the Dailyrapupcrew crew. Yes, God. But what I'm saying is, we, both men and women, we really do need to put in the work so we can build that structure, because you don't see this type of, I'm not saying that white people, Asian, Hispanics don't have problems in their communities when it comes to relationships, but why are we the face of dysfunction? It's like we glorify that. It's like we the walking love and hip hop Zeus network type of thing. And we need to stop that shit.
Okay. So
because they want us to be.
Can I just say something? Other thing?
Hold on, let me get to the super chats real quick.
And no, I am not no damn pick me. Before you go, that whole pick me thing. If you want to call me a pick me, baby, yes, I'm a pick me. If I want to get chosen by a man, I'm a pick me. Anytime, like that's like you trying to use it as an insult. It's not an insult to me. I made a video. I might need to scrub that from the grave and throw it out there. If you want to, that shit don't bother me. But I'm sorry, I had to throw it out there. Let me turn these comments off before
get off your chest, man. Big confidence that they taught us division, envy, low self-value, self-worth, separation, and hatred between our men and women on the plantation, and we accepted it.
Yeah, I mean, I gotta agree, man. I definitely gotta agree. We got another one there.
That's a fact. Yeah, we got a couple more. Roderick said, but we supported Black Lives Matter. That was anti-nuclear family.
They were just gay. That's all they were. That's all that.
I don't know, man. I went to their website and they mission statement. You know, they said they mentioned every other Black community, but they conveniently left out Black men specifically. Like they said, we are against the advancement of women, trans women, and Black people in general. But my thing was, why did you feel the need to, you know, to individualize the Black women, the trans women, the LGBT, but not the Black men? And if we're gonna keep it honest, the Black Lives Matter movement was built off the backs of Black men. Like, you get what I'm saying? So I do agree that they seem to come off like they're very anti-nuclear family, and that is an issue, at least to me. That's just maybe how I feel. Like, you know.
True.
Jack Daniels said, ladies, the get back is real. You see what just happened to Vivica Fox after speaking on Kevin Samuels? Some say convenience, but I say karma. Be careful.
Yeah, that's but just to go back to the protecting the thing, I always say, you know, the first.
We got one more. Reckless Gaming said, if Black women wanted protection, why did they leave us for the government and the WW movement? If they don't need a man, why do they need our protection? Okay. We got another one before I get into this. Nah, I say that.
Like I always say, the first form of protection for women in all communities comes from, you know, family structure and community. And unfortunately, because we do have a lack of community and family structure, you can't go out and necessarily expect, you know, strangers to protect you. Like when we ask women all the time, what is it meant by protecting Black women? Like, what do you need protecting from specifically? Because we want to hear y'all out. And because it's such a talking point, the women that have asked, they really don't know. They just know protect Black women. So we be like, have you ever been in a situation where you need to protect them? No, not really. But, you know, we have women, I was catcalled. We had on a show, I wish I got the clip. A woman said she was being catcalled by another stranger. And she said that, you know, that was, she wanted protection from that. You know, he didn't put her hands on her. He simply gave her a compliment. You know what I mean? He wasn't harassing her, but she felt like that was a form of protecting Black women. A random guy should have stopped on the corner and be like, hey, don't.
So basically, she didn't like that he was just complimenting her.
Yeah. So, and like I said, I'm not saying that is not a thing, but when I talk to women about this conversation, they seem to never really pinpoint one specific area that they need protecting from. Like, most women have never been in a situation where, you know, they have been in harm necessarily from a man in the street or whatever the case is. I've seen Black men die. There's reports, there's several news articles that Black men have died protecting Black women on the street, just random Black women. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like that dude in New York who, you know, was helping the girl who was dealing with an abusive boyfriend. You know, he stepped in, he ended up in the hospital, and she went right back to the nigga. Like, so, you know, not a lot of random strangers or men are not going to risk their lives for a random individual. Now, if it's family, your wife, your sister, daughter, like those men are much more willing to put their lives on the line.
They do it for a white woman, but they in the same.
What? Nah,
we're not doing that. Like, I ain't never seen that happen. Like,
Black, you see Black.
Let her say this, please, because come on, Rose, don't do it.
In the same scenario, right? When you look at the way white femininity, and this is all theological. Like, this is all, like, of course, a regular woman, everyday woman that doesn't read anything, that doesn't, like, bitches don't really read for real. So if that doesn't read any like literature on the ideology behind a simple internet phrase is not going to know or be able to point out specific examples of anything in her life, because a lot of these people, not just women, men and women, live on the internet and they're on like this commenting about how they can't have anybody to have sex with them. Okay, but here's the thing: when it comes to protecting Black women, the way white femininity is revered within this culture, And the way white women's virginity, the way white women's purity, the way white women's feminization has been revered in the community all the way back to Emmett Till and even before him, right? Nobody, and let's say in that same situation, right? Nobody would, in the same, like, I'm using Emmett Till as an example. If a Black woman in that time period said a man raped me, a white man raped me, they would
talking about a white woman that lied. She lied about that scenario, right?
But here's what I'm saying though, right? We are so quick to defend and protect white women's purity,
we are not.
Their imagery.
No, we are not.
White passing women, Black women who are closer to the white beauty standard, but it's not the same for brown women. It's not. I'm sorry, it's just not.
I'm not saying that you're completely wrong, but you're going off on what the media is showing you.
Exactly. How often do you see a Black man protecting a white woman on going down the block? Like, you get them, it's not happening.
Not going down the block, but
I could see a dude robbing one right now, and I'm minding my fucking business. No disrespect.
Yeah. Roderick said Baby Rose keeps getting fact checked. She got to do some research. Shaking my head.
Yeah, and then just the fact of, if you, I can understand where you might be coming from, but even we talk about the police and how quick they are to respond to black people. I mean, the same thing could be said for Black men, for Black women. That's just we unfortunately live in a society where the police enforcements they don't look like people like us, so of course they're gonna be quick to not respond to situations that's containing us.
But you can't compare the police to an average Black man. Like, they got way more power.
It's not specifically just aimed towards Black men too. It's everybody. People need to protect Black women more. We're villainized in the media all the time. We're called trannies. We're masculinized. It's like, just let up on us. Like, let it go.
When you say we're masculinized, you talking about the same Black women who are quick to let the world know how much they are masculine. Like, you talking about those same group of Black women?
I'm sorry?
You talking about the same group of Black women who are quick to let a world know how masculine they are and how much they embrace their masculinity over their femininity? You talking about those same Black women?
Mm.
He's saying, how can you
the same ones that calling niggas bitches, the same niggas acting like bitches?
You say you can't be calling them masculine if that's what they're calling themselves. That's basically what he's saying.
And that's what they portraying. Like,
speaking about Black, don't masculine. When has Serena Williams ever masculinized herself besides being an athlete?
I can't say she has.
I don't think she hasn't.
Now, Megan Thee Stallion, besides her music, because that's the music that all the girlies be rapping about, the same stuff, the same exact rhetoric, the same exact over-sexualized image of Black women, which I don't like, right? Mm-hmm. But who isn't Megan Thee Stallion the one dark-skinned girl that we have above all of them that's being called a tranny because she's a little taller? This is what
is that on average? Like, you can't go to a comment section and think that represents the majority of people, like Black men. Like, you know what I mean? I know a lot of Serena Williams did a lot of Black men. A lot of Black men will refer to Serena Williams as beautiful, as gorgeous. Ari Lennox is the same way. I've seen people compliment Ari Lennox a million times in the comments, but then she goes for that one, "Oh, you look like a Rottweiler," the comment, and be like, "Oh, well, this is how the mass feels," when it's not how the mass feels. It's just that one person that you choose to point out. You know what I mean? I've seen plenty of people compliment these women. Like,
and it happens to the light-skinned women too. Cardi get roasted. Everybody get roasted. We only look at the shit when it's going towards the other way.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody get roasted.
Yeah, we got super chat, Keem.
Yeah, but y'all know there's a difference between punching down and punching up, right?
What are you referring
to? What are you getting at, Rose?
When oppressed classes make criticisms about classes of people that are above them on the social totem pole, it doesn't have the same effect as when people who do have that higher status in the social totem pole punch down on people who are in lower social protected classes than them. Women are a protected class. So when you attack women, as a man attacking a woman online is punching down. When women are attacking men online, they're punching up at the system. That's the difference.
Mm-hmm.
It sounds like wrong is wrong to me.
Yeah, I don't know about that one. Like, again, I think I think a lot of times we're using white feminist talking points to try to relate that to the Black community, and I don't think it's the same. Like, feminism has never been about the Black woman. It's just the white woman came and needed support, and Black women was conveniently the easiest one to go and get the support from. And now Black women are leading the feminist movement against men who never oppressed them. You know what I mean? So it's just it's crazy to see that.
We was listening to white women for years to say, oh, you don't need a man this and you don't need a man that. But where are them white women at right now?
They with their husband.
But they man.
Husbands cooking and cleaning and doing whatever the hell they got to do to keep the family structure together, while we somewhere talking about, girl, I got me a PhD and I don't need no nigga. And
I've never heard no other ethnic group relentlessly say they don't need a man. I've never heard feminists say that. I've never heard Asians, Hispanic. It only seems to be Black women who feels the need to tell the world that they don't need a man. Black, white, Asian, Hispanic, they don't need a man at all, and how much they're strong and independent. That's the rhetoric that I hear coming out of Black.
No women ain't free in all those other countries, and they still love their man.
Eli,
I got 15 Indian Jones right now. You know what I'm saying?
Go ahead, Rose. My fault.
Do you feel like women need men?
I think we need each other.
Yeah, exactly. We do need each other. It's no such thing as women are the prize, men are the prize. No, we're both the prize. We need to stop doing this whole thing of protect Black women and not protect Black men. We need to both protect each other.
Mm-hmm.
Right. We were put here to work together, not against each other. We need each other.
So Drew, you changed your views on that, on who the prize is?
I've been said that, bro.
Oh, okay.
That's what I was just talking. My inner fuck boy always want to say I'm the prize, but you know what I mean? What fuck nigga?
Okay, so basically you saying you DJ academic. You DJ academics.
Oh no. But he don't get no ladies, you know what I'm saying? I'm talking about a fuck boy, you know what I'm saying? He gotta sit down somewhere, no disrespect.
Yeah, Don said we need to protect women from their bad decisions. We got one from Reckless Gaming, says strong and independent women don't need protection. We got another one from...
They're still women. We're still smaller than y'all. We're still, we're still women. Like,
if people voicing that they're independent, they don't need no help, why would you help them? You get what I'm saying? If you roaring this, you know what I'm saying? Like,
you don't recognize where that might come from, a place of trauma?
Well, baby, they need to heal from their trauma. We can't keep using the same excuse.
You can't help somebody that don't want to be helped.
That's like a dude saying, well, this girl hurt me when I was 16 years old and I'm 32 now. Like, nigga, get over that shit.
There's a lot of men. A lot.
Yeah, they will have to get over it. Like,
you have to get over it. You're gonna have to put your big girl panties on.
Yeah.
How many times you gonna bring the horse to the water and it's not drinking before you say, no, fuck it, I'm not bringing the horse here no more?
Okay.
Okie boy said. Okay boy says. So Rose, when a woman is getting hurt by a man in the streets, us Black men stop and check her skin tone before we jump in.
Don't tag that nigga head.
Don't be stupid, and don't use 2 brain cells to make arguments. You know exactly what.
It means that she don't pass the brown paper bag test. Like, let me not protect her. Like,
hold on. Let me see. All right, continue. Yeah, Roderick said Rose must have went to PWI. LOL. What's a PWI?
What's a PWI?
Predominantly white institution. I think
oh,
college.
Oh, damn.
Is that true?
I know what that was.
Is that true?
No, it's more.
All right.
We got one from.
They are not letting Rose live.
Where? Damn, Rose. They
don't like. And let me tell you why. Because a lot of men, I feel like a lot of men in the red pill community don't like me because I'm fair and I speak the facts. And a lot of women in the red pill community will pander to men. Like, a lot of women in the red pill community will pander to the sensitive feelings that these incels have. I don't do that. I look at the facts. And I'm just saying, like, there's reasons why people act the way that they do. So just saying Black women aren't choosing better, or all Black men are Pookies and Ray Rays, both of them are stupid as hell, and you have to look at like the deep underlying problem.
So why can't you say that women should hold themselves accountable with that independent masculine attitude? How, like, why should men protect somebody that doesn't want to be protected? You saying as women we should still do it?
If she doesn't want your protection, that's fine. If she doesn't want your protection,
but that's what they're screaming. I don't need no man. I don't need you.
Black men.
Women that are saying I'm a strong, independent Black woman are not the same women saying protect me. I need protection. They're not the same.
If you're saying I don't need no man, you are saying that you don't need no protection. If you don't need the man, you can't say, "Oh, well, except if I'm getting my ass beat, come protect me." You get what I'm saying? It's no separation in between. Like, you know what I mean?
We keep talking about Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion, all these rappers. Megan Thee Stallion is the same, and no shade. Well, shade. Megan Thee Stallion is the same woman that proclaims that she was popped by, Tory Lanez. And then you came out with a song not too long ago and said, F these niggas, you need to get on your knees and eat my coochie from the back. Okay. But then at the same time say, get on Gayle King and cry about how y'all was friends and how you confused and, where are the Black men that's protecting me. But let me go back and eat my, my food.
Yo, Jared said she has no idea what she's talking about. Black women portray their image as masculine and conduct themselves as such. Y'all made Woman King. Come on. Yo, they got jokes.
Y'all seen Woman King?
Nah,
absolutely not. I will not watch that. No.
Yo, Jack Daniels said, look at Monica entertaining Kodak Black, but women don't need guidance.
Monica?
What that mean? I'm lost.
My thing with Kodak Black, I know Kodak has been on record saying that he does not prefer
he don't like
women. You know what I mean? So for you to know that he spoke that melanin rhetoric and then still kind of talk to him, I guess I don't know I didn't know that was a thing, but
Reckless said, my point exactly, Eli. That's what I'm saying. That's what I was saying before. They left us and broke up our communities to join the white women in their cause. It never involved us.
Speaking of
don't blame Black women for the white man's oppression of you. That's all I'm saying.
Roderick said, speaking facts, but being fact checked twice.
I am speaking facts. Thanks. But
they ain't letting.
Reckless Gaming said there's still women, and y'all want it to be equal. Equal people carry their own weight. Why ask for special treatment when you got equality?
Listen real quick. I do. We talk about feminism. I do want to get into these clips real quick. I got 2 clips I want to play. This clip specifically is from tomorrow's episode, which is dropping. Make sure y'all tune in 3 p.m. We're gonna be in a live chat, so if y'all want to talk to us live. We got Poor Man Podcast, and you know what I mean? He's Poor Man Podcasting, but we do got a clip that I want to play, and then I'll have a follow-up clip after that.
I'm gonna just keep it a buck with y'all. Feminism was a scam. They wanted y'all to go into the workforce because now you don't have to pay people as much because the workforce doubled. Then they get to tax double the people. Now that the women ain't home cooking, you got to go out and buy McDonald's. So it was a corporation technique. So women are pretty much, they're just draining y'all resources money by getting y'all to go out there and work.
Ladies and gentlemen, Poor Man Podcast. So Rose, what is your thoughts on the feminism movement? And do you think, in your opinion, it has helped women or has hurt women in a sense?
Okay, well, here's the thing, right? I know I said I'm from Atlanta, Georgia, but I was born in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia. Okay? I was born in a developing country where women have no freaking rights. Like, we can vote, but that's like bare minimum. And it's like, women are beaten on the streets by their husbands. Nobody says anything. Muslim women in certain parts of the country I come from. So here's the thing. When we talk about how feminism has this and feminism has that, I can see how an ideology like feminism does not correlate well with a late capitalistic society, which we're in right now. But to say that feminism is not good is something I just can't get behind. It's just not. Like, I'm sorry.
So what would you say is the benefits that women has received because of feminism?
And real quick too, before you answer that, you don't think women believe they're superior to men since feminism?
No.
Yeah, I don't think feminism, in my personal opinion, I don't think it's about equal rights anymore. I think it's about being superior to men now. I think before it started out as having equal rights. Now it becomes, I'm superior to men. You know what I mean? We're better than men. How many women have have blatantly said that they're better than men, they're smarter than men, they can do the same things men can do, they can do things better than men, we could be in positions of power, leadership, and be better. Like, I think it's become a superiority thing. Like,
well, at this point, baby, just be a lesbian, because if you don't need a man that much, just be a lesbian. I mean, because how you don't need a man, but then certain things you want this and that and the third, like, make it make sense.
Coincidentally, they said all they need is their rose.
You a rose?
They do be, the women do be saying that. The women do be saying that. You know what I mean?
No, let's say, okay, I don't think, for the small echo chamber of moronic women who are saying that they now need to be in more positions of power than men, those women are idiots. Okay, I'm not like the divester community that says that they don't even want black men and like abort. Like, these are all moronic women who are very hurt by a couple of guys that they like dealt with. They hurt their feelings, whatever, right? But the greater thing about feminism now is we're still not there yet, guys. We're still not there yet, okay? Because there are more men in political power positions than women. There are still, we're not there yet. And I think that's the main.
Okay, so if we're going to be equal, then we need equal representation in the trenches when we're building up these infrastructures. We need more equal representation on when people are building these houses or the sewer systems, the sanitation. Women can't just demand that they want equal representation in the office and the CEO positions, but don't want to get their hands dirty with the people that build the society that we live in.
That's all societal, and that's all nurturing, right? So like, as a girl growing up, nobody's gonna like your family, and you tell your family, like, I want to go into construction. As a man, they'll support you. But if you're a woman and says, I want to go into construction, they're not even gonna. The society.
Women in bulk don't go into construction. They don't do that. Like, they're not gonna. Women are not signing up to be sanitation workers. They're not signing up to go on construction sites. They're not doing that in mass. They're just not.
Because
they're not female firefighters.
Don't condition to allow, like, to even think that's a possibility. We don't condition women that way.
Nah, I don't believe that.
And some of y'all,
why do we have to condition? Go ahead, bro.
No, my fault.
I was saying, why do we have to condition women to think that way when that's what y'all supposed to be doing with feminism?
Well,
feminism is supposed to make y'all believe that y'all equal to men. So why do we have to condition y'all to think that way?
It's the same way that we condition men to take these jobs. Is this the exact same thing? The same thing.
Men are not conditioned. I would say men are conditioned to not take certain jobs, but most jobs men are in those fields though.
I'm not trying to build no highway. I'm not trying to fix your toilet. I'm trying to be as feminine as I'm not now. I will say this. We do need like equal rights when it comes to pay and certain job opportunities. Mm-hmm. But to sit here and say that I'm trying to compete with the man on some manly man, no.
Let's keep it real. Yeah. Women are not as physically fit as a dude. You guys are not faster than us, stronger than us. It's just certain shit that we're different in.
I agree with that.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just two different things, and to compare that, it's just a waste of time.
Yeah,
but that's with not just like, I feel like there are some women who are kind of better than some men in some things, like who are
and vice versa. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like kind of like, I don't know, I can't really explain.
And men ain't saying, "Oh, I should be doing that." Like, we not fighting y'all on what y'all good at. Like you said, do it more. Fuck you talking about?
Okay.
Yeah, Reckless Gaming said feminism is now misandry. I still love you though, Rose. They love you, Rose. PNG said we went from kings and queens to brothers and sisters, but now we celebrate being loud, rude, nasty, etc. Now it's a battle of who's going to lead. My girl is Filipino and asked me how come we are doing this to each other.
Yes,
sad we ain't got no answers for.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of an answer.
Barrington said, built the WNBA feminism support party though.
I ain't gonna hold you. I can't watch a WNBA game. I'm sorry.
And I do want to talk about the WNBA real quick because I always hear.
We got one more. We got one more.
Gotta keep
Regular
it
said, not there yet. Women have more rights than men. The pay gap was debunked years ago. Look up the Jordan Peterson, Kathy Newman interview.
Yeah, I do want to talk about the WNBA.
Jordan Peterson as like real source material. I'm sorry, like he's an idiot. Like you cannot.
Jordan Peterson is an idiot.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm not gonna talk about somebody who's educated, who clearly has a doctorate and all these things. Call him an idiot, like you know what I'm saying? Like I would never disrespect him.
He went from being a respected scientific journalist, multiple published journals on sociology and the human condition, to being an internet babbling fool. Like I don't respect anything that he says. I'm sorry, he lost all my respect.
Well,
nobody.
You're entitled to your opinion, but I do want to.
Community respects Jordan Peterson. Nobody in the academic community respects Jordan Peterson, and I will die on that hill.
And where do you get that? Where do you get this information
from? Where you getting this information?
Don't die on this.
Okay.
Huh?
So you know academic scholars that have said that out their own mouth.
I guess that's
No, stop jumping her. Stop jumping. I'm gonna protect a black woman.
No, but I do want to talk about the WNBA real quick because a lot of women will say, well, the WNBA players don't get the same pay as NBA players. That's a big talk. That's a big talking point women love to say. But again, when you're talking about the product that's being placed out there, WNBA is not selling. They're actually losing money every year. You know what I mean? Like people are not in mass, even women. You know what I mean? Women are not in mass going out and supporting the WNBA. Now, you just don't get a higher pay because you want it. You have to go out and, you got to sell tickets. You got to get ratings. People have to watch you in order to get this money. You can't just get it because you're a woman. Now, again, the WNBA players, they're entertaining. You know what I mean? I don't think they're as entertaining as the men because obviously certain physical attributes or whatever the case is, right? But the easiest thing for WNBA women to do, instead of complaining about the men, go out and get the women to go out and support the WNBA. Stop coming back to the men and trying to yell at the men and be like, well, you guys, even though I know you guys have football, baseball, basketball, hockey, y'all need to go out and support the W. No, we don't. Go out and get the women to support the WNBA, and then your ratings will go up. Then you guys can actually afford more money. But don't, like I seen Lisa Leslie talk about the WNBA players should give a portion of their salary to the WNBA. That sounds entitled as hell. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, nobody's entitled to give their money just because you feel like, oh, the pay gap is different. Like, go out and do the work.
Women aren't into sports like that anyway.
Huh?
Generally, women aren't into sports like that anyway.
Then y'all have to go out, and if y'all support women empowerment, right? It doesn't matter. It shouldn't even matter if they're not into it. If women are so about empowering other women, they should go out and be more interested in sports now, especially if it's WNBA is women. These are the same women that y'all vouch for in every other position, but y'all don't want to go out and support them in the WNBA.
Yeah, but then again, remember when I said earlier, there's like a lot of different kinds of women. So, like, of course, there's going to be, like, they have a fan base and stuff like that. But for the most part, like, back to the whole femininity thing, it's not necessarily the most, like, I'm just not interested. Like, I'm sorry.
That shit sounded selective.
But Rose, you say you're a feminist, man. I think I would think this is something, huh?
Like, I'm just not. Sorry.
I would think that this is something that feminists would support 100%. No?
No, because the things that I'm fighting for are a lot deeper than that.
Is it equal pay?
I'm not talking about you specifically. I'm talking about feminists in general. Like,
I mean, yeah, I definitely can see, that's work for certain feminists, but I'm more of like with sexual assault victims, like that's really where my heart goes out to, like women who are day to day, like negatively impacted by men's violence. That's really where I'm more into like it. Of course they should be paid equally. Like, of course they should be paid equally. But like I said, they're not advertised the right way. I would say like
so they should be paid equally just because they're women or because they do the same amount of work and they sell the same amount of tickets and they get the same amount of ratings.
Because I think it's because, again, the input that you put in, the work that you put in, you should always be paid for that. I believe that. Like, y'all should be paid how much y'all work on this podcast. Y'all should be paid for the amount of work that y'all putting into this podcast. And that goes the same for everybody. So
yeah, but we ain't demanding. We not going. We should be getting Breakfast Club money. Like we ain't up there yet. We still gotta put in the work. I can't just be like, well, we a podcast just like the Breakfast Club or Hot 97. We deserve the same amount of compensation. Like, no, we have to equally put in the work. We got to build up the fan base. We got to build up the subscribers. We have to put in the work. We can't just demand it because we are men and we are in the same space as, you know, these other content creators. Like, you know what I mean?
The thing though, like I feel like the WNBA is not a great example because like it's just not. It's not really comparable because there are women who are doing the exact same jobs as men in corporate America who are not getting paid. Like it happens, and you can't deny. It's very disingenuous to deny those things.
You know that's a lawsuit. That's illegal. That's illegal in America. That's literally illegal. Discrimination of pay is illegal in America. So if much more women was talking about how they was not getting the same pay, that's easily a lawsuit. And we live in an era of believe all women. You know what I'm saying? So why are more women pressing lawsuits against their employers?
We don't believe all women, though.
That's the narrative that's been paying out here.
But
and
we don't.
Amber Heard, what Amber Heard did, like, you know what I'm saying? Huh?
It's a narrative spun because we're not believing women.
Like no, the narrative spun because some women like to lie and they want to play the victim.
Idea that women are entitled to something. No, we're working our asses off, bro.
And so is everybody else. It's called life.
So is everybody else. Yes, but give us our dues for how much we're busting our asses. Give us our dues. That's all we're saying. That's not hard.
Fraser got a question for you, Rose. You wanna answer that?
Rose, what are your thoughts on Jordan Peterson crying during an interview? I didn't see that. And I don't really care about that man. Like, he's a panderer and he's a white supremacist. Like, I don't have time for it.
Mm-hmm. Moving on. Reckless said women make 80% of consumer buying decisions. If they supported the WNBA like they do Real Housewives of Atlanta, they make more than I ain't gonna hold you. He's spitting on
all
this.
All you gotta do is turn the TV on and walk away.
He's spitting on that one. I ain't gonna hold you. Whoa. All right.
That's free support.
Yeah, homosexual said feminists are walking contradictions. I think he like you, Rose. I ain't gonna lie to you.
I don't think that I'm contradicting. I think that people think that feminists are like man haters and that we just want to kill all men and we want to burn the patriarchy and we want to we're just angry, like blue haired with our armpits grown. I shave my armpits. I don't know. Like, you know, I feel like that's the image that people have of feminists, and that's not the case. Like
it's more about how selective you guys are on what you want to defend and what you don't live by.
Yeah, y'all say equality. Equality is one word. You get what I'm saying? So when we say, okay, well, y'all want to be equal. So how about, you know, we split the financial responsibilities equally? Then it becomes, I don't want to do this. Whoa. Okay, well, if you want to be equal, how about y'all do the same same dangerous jobs that men do? Well, I don't want to do that. Okay, if we want to be equal, how, it's selective, equality, and that's the part that I don't think people like.
Eli, that's pivoting though. Like, I think that not selective equality, it's number one, equity, right? So most women, again, do not have a problem with 50. Y'all, please, all the men watching, most women do not have an issue with going 50-50.
I don't know if you can say that, Rose.
The internet, look,
it's interesting. I got a clip right here from you where you actually said that. No, I'm joking.
She was shook. She was shook.
Put that shit on the screen.
No, I did say that, like, if you're not in a committed relationship and you're not married, your name is not on a lease or a deed, you shouldn't be going 50-50. I did say that.
But then you also turned around and said that if your name is on the if the man says, "Oh, put your name on the deed and we could go half," you said don't do that either. So which one?
No, I said if he needs your help to get an apartment because he can't get an apartment on his own, so he need to put your name on stuff. Don't do that. That's what I said. Don't do that.
I mean, but there's a lot of women that got roommates too that can't afford an apartment by themselves.
Are they fucking that roommate?
Shit,
I mean,
I don't know. Yo, Veritas said, respect FBAs, do this work in Ethiopia. I am non-FBA, Jamaican descent. Before I complain about USA, white America, I'll go fix Jamaica.
Yes, God.
Mm-hmm.
How are you
guys fixing though?
Inside the United States?
How do what?
Like, for example, there's a tribal warfare going on in my country right now. I have a really large Ethiopian fan base, and they want me to talk about it all the time. But I can't, in good conscience, do that because I'm not living in that, I'm not living there anymore. Like I have relatives that I talk to daily that are affected by it. But then again, there's so much propaganda going on in that country that I don't even know what's real and what's fake. So I just feel very like disingenuous talking about it because I don't really like to, if I don't know what I'm talking about or I'm not confident in what I'm saying, like I don't misrepresent the situation and then somebody hears what I said and go commits an act of violence over there. It happens a lot.
Do you think that you compare what's happening from where you're from to out here that kind of mix up your like judgment on how things are? Because compared to out here from out there, it's totally different on rights for women.
Yes, but also I think that because I see such blatant misogyny in my country all the time, and then I kind of see similarities with the way men talk about women in America, it literally makes me nervous. Like, oh my, like I thought I was in America. Like, oh my God, like I thought this was like a country where women really had it made, and I'm just like, oh my God, like why do y'all feel this way about women?
But see, that's the flaw. Not even me as a black man, I'm not even getting treated fair. You get what I'm saying? I'm not getting paid what I want to get paid. You know, there's white men in probably the same company. Yo, it was a white guy that only drove equipment around at my job, and he made more than me. What the fuck am I gonna do? Complain about it and get fired? You get what I'm saying? So it happens to all of us. It's not just women. This is America.
And that's another thing. I really want the men to understand that when it comes to feminism, it's not men against women. For the most part, it's women against the white patriarchy that also...
No.
Listen, let me finish. That also negatively affects black men. Black men are a victim of this. They are. And I'm sorry, but that's just the case.
I know he's live right now. I see it. Somebody said Tariq is live right now. We gotta go.
yo, pull up. Tell him to pull up on the live, man. What's up, man?
He actually shout y'all out on that last show y'all had like a couple of months ago. That Goofy. That
Black Americans didn't have culture.
I had made a video about her because she was so
Yeah, she was big. She was big man after. Like,
Rose, how you feel about
aesthetic? Your whole aesthetic is FBA. Like,
Rose, how you feel about that? Like,
what? I'm sorry.
About Black Americans. You know, a lot of non-Black Americans will say that Black Americans don't have culture.
We are the culture.
Yeah. What's your thoughts on that concept? And why do you think non-Black Americans, you know, like Africans, Caribbeans, people from London and stuff, like, why do you think they feel that way about Black Americans?
Okay, I see, like I said, I read, so I don't have that opinion, but I know people who have that opinion. And really, the reality is Black American culture is derived from fragments of African culture, like our extravagance, like as Black people, like the ghetto aesthetic, I'm using air quotes, the street styles, whatever. That flamboyancy and that extravagance literally is a direct derivative of African, like, tribal wear. Like, if you've ever seen an African in full tribal wear, like, you're gonna be like, that's just who we are as a people. It's in our, like, even the things that we make, like gumbo, the different foods that we eat. Like, I see similarity between my cultural food and African American cultural food. There is a Black culture, and I think that people from around the world, because American culture is centralized and it's globalized around the whole world, that we feel like American culture is like everybody's culture. You know what I mean? We wear American clothes in Ethiopia, like clothes that Americans would also wear. So now we don't really feel like it's a culture, like, because everybody's tapping into it. Like a lot of other cultures are influenced by American culture. Street style in Ethiopia is influenced by street style in the US. So we don't feel like it's a closed culture. Whereas my culture is a closed culture. Like you have to speak the language, be it like preferably a certain religion, speak a, you know, like hair done a certain type of way, certain type of look, and it's a closed culture. America is not a closed culture. So I think that's why people feel like Americans.
That's kind of like another way of saying that we don't have no culture. Like that's kind of, to some people will look at that as disrespect. Like you trying to minimize us by saying, well, everybody does it, so they know they don't have culture. But us, we wear our garments, we have our own language. But it's like, sweetie, we are the culture. Everybody is influenced.
Everybody's doing it. Like
us, like the music, the lingo, the language, the food,
the clothes, the food, everything.
That's us. Not just Black immigrants benefit from it. White people are benefit from it.
Of course, I agree that, but I'm saying it's a difference between a closed culture and an open culture like America, where everybody kind of takes from it. You know what I mean? Like there's just a difference because America influences so many different parts of the world.
But how can you say, if it's influencing different parts of the world, how can you say that they don't have no culture?
Like I said, I read, but a lot of people let that fly over their head.
Oh, okay. All right. I'm gonna get to the super chat. Carlton said Jordan P has saved so many men. He has over 1 million followers and over 100 million views. When women can't handle the truth, you tend to shame, guilt, and insults. Ain't no helping Black women. Grab your passport.
I'm so sorry.
Oh God.
I'm gonna stay in America though, man. I'm gonna stay in America.
Reckless said, yes, bros, that's what we believe because that's all we hear. Feminists want the authority of men, but not the responsibility of men. Equity is equality of outcome, which isn't earned on merit. Wake up. What up, Lady Navoa?
That's all the super chats mean?
Nah, we got one more. Black Ken said, Noah, I'm a Black man and feminist. And feminism's gun is aimed at me, just as it is the YouTube. I guess that's what YouTube man.
I think that's white. For some reason, I think they just say white men. Like,
oh, okay, which is just as it is the white man also, but the Black culture is not influenced by others. Everyone copy us. Yeah, that's the last one.
Any more super chats? I want to get to the next topic.
Yeah, you go ahead.
All right, so I got this video. I got a couple of videos, but I want to play this video and then I want you, huh?
I said, hopefully I can get in my bag with this one.
I'm gonna play this one.
What you want to talk about?
This y'all show. This ain't my show.
Oh, it's still been a lot of back and forth about this whole discussion on why men approach certain women, why certain women don't get approached, and y'all are really holding this, being intimidating by the chokehold. Ain't nobody intimidated by y'all. And when you go into the comment sections of the videos where y'all keep saying y'all are intimidating, there's no men confirming that. And there's a bunch of men making videos telling you they are not intimidated by you. Let me tell you what y'all are getting confused. Some of y'all have nasty attitudes. You have a nasty demeanor. That's the reason why they don't want to talk to you. It's because you give a nasty aura. They can already tell you got a bad attitude just by your disposition. It's not intimidating. It's just don't nobody want to deal with it. This is a real question. What do y'all think exactly is intimidating to men about you? Y'all do stuff like getting your wig freshly laid, lashes done, makeup to a T, and then stepping out and thinking that men are intimidated by you because you look so good because you done up. But absolutely, that's not the way men think. A lot of men think that when you made up to that level, that you are not confident in how you look naturally. Therefore, you have on all of those different things to boost your confidence. So they're not intimidated by all of that you got made up because that's not you.
She said a lot. I'm not gonna hold you, but Nicole, I want to start with you first, man. What's your thoughts on that video? And do women use the guys are intimidated by me tactic a lot to justify the behavior or whatever the case is?
As far as the clip, I kind of agree, and then I don't agree. I agree to an extent. I feel like I don't know. It's kind of tough to say. I really don't see women saying they're intimidated by my looks, but I don't know. With the video you sent me, Ju, as far with the lady, and she was like, she doesn't get approached.
Yeah, we gonna get into that. Yeah,
I'm waiting for that one too.
That was I mean, I was really waiting on too, but I mean, I don't really agree with her because I feel like I don't really see women saying like, oh, they're intimidated by my looks. I don't know, maybe it's just me, but I do feel like it's a lot of, you know, women who don't get approached, and I feel like you just can't have that. You really shouldn't even care about that. Like, I feel like it doesn't matter. Like, their validation doesn't matter. You shouldn't feel validated by whether or not someone approaches you or not. It's about how you feel about yourself. Now, going back to I don't know. Come back to me. Give me a second.
Do you get approached a lot?
I get approached, but I mean, and sometimes I don't get approached. I get it's kind of half and half. I get approached a lot of the times, and then a lot of the times I don't get approached when it's. Ooh, okay.
Yeah, so let's save that one. That one gonna come next. We're gonna save that energy.
Oh, hold on. Before so when he just made a point, he kind of made me realize a point. With a certain group of people, I get approached, but then with another group of people, I don't get approached. So
what group is that?
Say it again.
We're gonna save that. We're gonna save that energy for when we get to that specific topic about stay on there. Do the intimidation factor that women love to say.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so
okay.
I don't necessarily believe that like men are intimidated by women. Like, I don't think that I know for a fact that for the most part men are not intimidated by women. I know that men have a very linear view for women for the most part. But if she's not getting approached, and it was the girl in the first video, like if a woman is not getting approached, she is not physically pleasing. Like, let's just be really like real about it. Overweight women don't really get approached as much as women who are more like, you know, the societal standard, right? Like, I want to say, as a Black woman, when my hair is natural versus when my hair is like this, there's different the kind of men that approach me. When I'm wearing makeup, like, honestly, I get approached when I'm not wearing makeup at the freaking gas station. Like, if you look good, you're gonna get approached. If you don't look good, you're not gonna get approached. It's not about men being intimidated by you. If niggas are not approaching you, they're not intimidated by you. They probably just don't like how you look. Like, really that simple.
What about what do you call it, Ace? What's that face when you approach
the resting bitch face?
What about
India? What's your thoughts?
The whole thing about the whole women being intimidated. Hold on, am I saying that right? Men being intimidated by women. I don't believe that. I get what she's saying, and I agree with her to a certain degree. Like, women, it goes back to what we were saying earlier. They might not say, oh, well, they're intimidated by me, but they'll throw out, oh, I'm independent. I have this PhD. So it's like I'm one-upping you. So it's like, okay, are you trying to compete with us? Like, are you trying to be a man, or are you trying to rest in your femininity? Like, 1 minute you're a woman and you're dainty and you can't do this and you don't want to break a nail, but then the next thing is, oh, well, I'm a woman, hear me roar. Listen to me because I'm a woman. I'm beautiful. I got good coochie and this and that and the third. And then when men shut you down, then that's when you want to do the you know, don't do that. Like, stand on what you said.
Women, their stance is like they're unapproachable. Like, they don't want the man to approach them. That's how I feel. That's why a lot of women don't get approached, because it's how you are presenting yourself when it comes to the man approaching you.
But then don't get mad when you're 35, 40, 50, talking about something. Well, damn, where my husband at? Well, when you was 25 and 30, and hell, I even say 30. I say 35. When you were 35, you was running them away, talking about how you didn't need a man, how you was on your FNF season, and it's like, girl,
I don't want a man. I don't want to get married. A lot of women don't want to get married.
And that whole FNF thing, that's cute and fun when you like on some in the club or whatever. But in real life, you cannot live like that. That's why I said put the phones down and stop living off of social media. Because those same girls that would tell you F and F, someone got a husband. And they might be getting cheated on, but they got a family and stuff like that. So it's like, be your own woman. Like, do what makes sense. Now, I'm not saying be traditional, because everything that was back in the 40s, 50s, and so on, that also didn't work as well. But we need to have a common ground with each other in our community to say, you know what, let's stop competing with one another. Because sometimes you do have men trying to compete with the women, trying to go back and forth with the women, cackling. And it's like, okay, let's stop arguing with one another. And like I said, over and over, it's like a constant, like beating a dead horse. What can we do to not feel like, okay, I can't rest my feet, or I can protect this Black woman? So it goes both ways.
All right. With the intimidation factor, I will say that, men are very much realistic when it comes to like courting a woman. So I was sometimes find myself saying like, nah, she look like she costs like I can't afford her or some shit like that. You know what I mean? So
You said she looked like she's what?
Like I can't afford her.
Oh. And I made a video today about men need to stop going broke for women. Date what you can afford. Stop trying to go for these women that have these 90K, 100K budgets when you on a 60K a year.
Exactly. So
I don't know their reality either. They be lying, but
so what I'm saying is I don't know if that's what they mean by intimidating. Like they because some women look expensive. I ain't gonna
don't got it in real life. They the ones got the roommate.
But they walking around.
Like she meant it more in the context of like women will get in like. It will be like a woman who's like very obviously like everybody can kind of, it's an elephant in the room, like they can see why men are not approaching her, but women comments will be like trying to support her and be like, oh girl, they just intimidated by you, like trying to kind of soothe her.
Yeah, y'all be lying. Y'all be lying to my own girl.
Where they man at?
We had a woman on our show that said that ain't nothing wrong with a woman being 400 pounds. Like,
oh my God, was she 400 pounds?
No,
she wasn't. That's the crazy part.
Some of the women y'all be having up there.
She's saying if it was her friend, it went. If she's beautiful, she's beautiful. It doesn't matter.
You look good just the way you are. I think just to go back to what Keem said about the affording things. I think some men do look at certain women and they can say, well, she looks like she's very materialistic, or it look like she's expensive. Or some men might look at that and say, you know what, I don't think that's a good investment. You know what I mean? Because she might be so materialistic, or she values certain aspects, whatever the case is. And I don't believe that, some women have these bad attitudes, right, towards men, and they will paint that as a, he can't handle me, or, he's intimidated by me. No, you just have a bad attitude and just is unpleasant to be around. Like, it has nothing to do about being intimidated. You're just not a pleasant person to be around. So I think people get those two confused. And I don't know if we got any mods in the chat, but we got we got a bot in the chat. Y'all can time them out real quick. And make sure you hit that like button while we here. Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe. And real quick, I just want to get this out of the way. We do have a subscription feature on YouTube that we're going to start utilizing. You're going to see a lot of exclusive content that you're not going to see on YouTube, TikTok, behind the scenes, a lot of behind the scenes footage, a lot of video pictures and stuff like that. So y'all want to go over there to Instagram real quick and subscribe to us. We're going to have some exclusive content just for y'all. We're going to be doing some live streams for y'all. We got some group chats specifically for the subscribers. So make sure y'all hit us up on Instagram, which is Dailyrapupcrew.
And I know this might sound a little biased, but I subscribed and it got some shit in there.
I mean, I appreciate you for saying that. But let me get into this topic, because we already here. Like, I might as well play this video because this is what y'all been waiting for. So I want y'all to talk.
Because it's hard for me to believe that I'm the pretty girl when I'm out and men don't approach me. I tell you guys all the time that like I get the most attention from guys on the internet, not out in public. I for the most part, I'm never approached, just to keep it a buck. And I don't care how many times my friends tell me I'm pretty, people at church tell me I'm pretty. When it's all said and done and I'm in a room with them, I'm never seen. And it's kind of hard to deal with.
So my question is, do you think more men are, more willing to approach a woman online than in person nowadays? What's your thoughts on that?
I'm sorry, say that one more time.
Are more men more willing to approach a woman online than in person in today's society?
I think no. Like men are still approaching you physically, walking up on you, like
unless he's insecure about himself, then he'll be like, I'm going to slide.
Right.
But I've never had a problem with men not approaching me.
Oh, really?
Like never.
Okay.
I will say, girl, be real. Like, I'm sorry. Like, girl, be fucking for real. Okay. Like, remember when I said that when I have different hairstyles, like the kind of men that I attract is different? The girl got locks, and not to be like no type of way, but most men don't like how that looks on us.
That's not true. I love
somebody say
I hate wigs more than I
prefer a woman with locks and natural hair than the wig.
We're gonna throw that out.
Natural hair, like my boyfriend don't like stuff like that. Like a lot of men love that, and it's not even like. It's all about how I feel like it depends on, I forgot who said it, but it's like the way you carry
the upkeep of the dread,
your aura, your demeanor, all that factors in. I feel like when somebody approaches you, like you can't be off to yourself or with the resting bitch face looking all stuck up or unapproachable, like you don't want to be fucked with or some shit like that. Like it's all about
across women like that.
Say it again.
Do you guys come across women like that? Like when you approach them, they're just like mean-spirited?
Hell yeah.
We live in New York. I don't know if you know this, but yeah, we live
What up?
All the time too, where I'm from, and I'm from South Carolina, but I'm in the DMV right now. I'm in Maryland right now. Like I see it all the time. Like
okay, Carolina girl, period. North Carolina.
The women you describing is New York women. The rest of bitch face, and that's what you describing is.
I think men are very calculated when approaching women, and if you have a much more pleasant nature, a much more feminine energy, like you're obviously attractive. Guys are gonna be more willing to approach a woman instead of a woman that looks like she doesn't want to be fucked with, looks like she has that resting bitch face, just looks angry, mad. You're gonna be like, nah, I'm good, like, because you don't want to get that embarrassment. And some guys are used to getting embarrassed in public for saying something. Like we had an instance with Jew was like he knew he had a friend. He had a friend that approached a woman in a very respectful way in public, and she just completely blacked on him for no apparent reason. So when guys go through certain experiences like that, it's like, damn, like, my whole life women have, rejected me in a sense, like in public, in front of everybody. Like I'd rather do it in the comfort of a DM where, the most she could do is probably leave me on scene or not read it. Like even if she cursed me out, like ain't nobody, unless she women be trying to screenshot shit nowadays.
Don't be trying to screenshot your ass.
But most guys would have that than having the public embarrassment of being rejected over and over, having that woman taking certain context out of certain words out of context and thinking that, oh, he's harassing me and things of that nature. So,
and also I remember like back in the day when you see somebody like with the resting bitch face, you be like, oh, you need to smile more. And then women start saying, don't tell me to smile, nigga. Like you know, I'm not smiling. So it's like, yo, no matter what angle you take, they find an angle to combat that shit. So it's like,
when I first seen the video, when it first came out, I felt where she was coming from. I was like, oh, okay, I feel where you coming from, because we all heard that rhetoric of men not approaching me, but it's usually the aesthetic that she's giving. No shade, but she's plus size, and it's not about her dreads, but she does. If you're coming on Instagram, that's like how I feel about when people cry on Instagram. you kind of become the laughing stock instead of getting the energy that you was trying to get. She wanted the sympathy, like, oh girl, you a queen, you beautiful. She was saying how, you know, her friends say she's beautiful. Of course your friends and family going to say that you're beautiful. They don't want to hurt your feelings. But baby girl, let me go and tell you this. The internet is not your friend. That's why I said before, the internet is not your therapist. You don't need to be out here trying to get a man. First of all, what type? Because she said before you cut the clip off, she was like, the only type of men that approach her are older men. Then when she said her friends were beautiful, I'm like, okay. And she's talking about a girl like me. And then I was looking like, okay, let me see how her friends look. And her friends look just like her. She's just a little bit bigger. Okay. Now I did see on her page that, you know, she was trying to go on getting her weight loss journey. So that's good. But baby, you know, slim down a little bit. She does need to dress. She does need to dress like her body shape, you know, instead of trying to dress like you're smaller, dress, you know, more flattering to the eye. If you're in the club and all your friends are similar to each other, including yourself, but you're someone with your dreadlocks like this, and you know, you looking like, oh, okay, as soon as this man comes up to me, he's going to go straight to my homegirls. And then my homegirls is going to be telling me, oh girl, I got this man number. He's so fine. And I'm somewhere the whole night, didn't get not one number. She's already putting her insecurities onto her friend, like, not jealous on some like in a bad way, but she was envious of her friends because she wants to be the friend to get chose up on and not the one to be like, oh, you got a friend, you got another number? Like, girl, it's not even 10 o'clock yet and you already got 5 numbers. Yes, girl, because I'm walking in the club like, yeah, I might not be the baddest thing in here, but I'm going to have somebody want to be like, oh, yo, who is that? And then two, you trying to find your forever. You're trying to find your forever in the club.
Wrong. Thank you. Red flag.
Thank you.
Like, girl, you trying to,
you can't find love in the club.
Out.
I keep telling y'all ain't gonna find it there. You're gonna find a condom.
Like, come on, bro.
I think the easy solution for her.
Stop going places like you. The desperation is like you niggas can smell the desperation when you're going around looking all over the venue, trying to find somebody to catch your eye. Like, girl, just let it come. Like, let like have that energy about yourself. Make sure you got your perfume on. You smell good. They can smell you before they see you, you know, and just have that aura about you that's like more welcoming. Like, I agree with you. And on top of everything else, we have to be like, oh my God, as women, we have to be realistic in the sense of like, there's I have a physical type, of course, and I feel like because I keep up with myself, I keep in shape, I make sure my skin is nice, I keep up with my hair, my nails are done, I keep up with myself. So I don't think I deserve a man who doesn't get regular haircuts, who doesn't keep up with who's not in shape. Like, I don't deserve somebody who's not taking care of themselves to the level that I'm taking care of myself. So that's the only thing. So if you want a dude who's taking care of himself to a certain level, sis, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's all I got.
Another thing I was trying to get at, because when she said only super older guys approach her, what type of men are you looking at? Okay, because are you looking at the men that are looking at a certain type of woman? Like, you might want to kind of dial it back a little bit, and that's not to discourage her, but you can't be let's just say she's probably like an average person, everyday person might look at her like, oh, you know, on a good day, she might be like a 5 or a 6. But you're trying to attract a man that's a 10. He's going to want someone that's similar to him. He's not going to want to talk to somebody that's a 5. And on top of that, you overweight. And on top of that, you're insecure. Like, make it make sense.
All that shit shows on your face. People don't think that shit shows, but it shows.
It shows on your face. It shows in your energy, your aura, all of that. Like I said, all of it factors into each other. If you already feeling on the inside, oh, we going out tonight, nobody going to approach me, they gonna feel that and sense that when y'all out. Like,
you gotta walk like you own that bitch if that's what you want. If that's
don't give out too much courage, because some of them don't.
That's what we have the game.
Not everybody walking there like they own it. Everybody can't walk that way.
That's why I was saying before, you need to go with your tax bracket. Okay, don't try to like shoot, and this goes for men and women. Don't try to shoot for the stars because I'm like, shit, I'm like that. Like, you know, I feel like I get like that. And then get mad when the girl say, you know what? No, nothing. Well, bitch, fuck you. Like, come on now.
But I'm in right now, so like my dating pool is like guys who are also in school, and that's great. Like, I'm perfectly fine with that. Like, they're working towards a goal. Guys that have like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we're both kind of going towards the same trajectory. Meeting a guy at the club, you don't know what kind of guy it is. Like, you don't know what he does for a living. But if you go and look for men at like around like a work dinner or like a networking event, you guys are generally in the same tax bracket, generally in the same like I don't like this whole like, oh, I met my nigga at the club. Girl, how did like, you don't know nothing about him except he likes to go to the club, and that's not a very good quality in a man. I'm not gonna lie. Like,
a man that likes to go to the club is not a good quality.
Like, if you're at the club all the time,
not every weekend or every
I think
both. Hold on, let me get the super chat. Yuri said, "Let's be real, homegirl is just not conventionally attractive. I have eczema on my face and I don't get much play at all. When I can calm it down, people start looking different. It is what it is. See, realistic, man. See, it's just realistic.
Yeah, men are much more realistic when it comes to like just reality than generally speaking than women are. Like, you know what I mean? Like, a guy understand like I can't go after Bernie's Burgos. Like, I gotta be up there. Like, you know what I'm saying? Unless I'm up there. Like, you know, a woman don't even gotta look like Bert. She could look like Lizzo and still think she could get a Drake. And I'm just like, that's not realistic. You know what I mean? Drake ain't going after your type.
Real quick, ladies, I'm gonna tell y'all this: if a dude is only hitting you up on social media, but they can't speak to you in real life or whatever, he's only trying to smash. I will tell you that if you only are getting hit up in DMs or whatever, Instagram, whatever it is, he only wants to smash and doesn't want to be walked around with you. I'm telling you, you got to have both. I'm not saying there's not a guy that can hit you up in a DM that doesn't like you genuinely. I'm saying if that's your only source of male trying to holler at you, you are, that's it. That's all they're looking for.
Yeah, I think I do want to get into this last topic. I know it's getting kind of late. You know, us average working people still got to wake up in the morning and shit like that. You know what I mean?
9 to 5.
This is what, huh?
I just had one question to ask since we were talking about the club. Like, is it a bad thing for a woman to approach a man, just in general?
Hell no.
No, I promote that.
I was gonna say, I think that's my solution. If she feel like men ain't approaching her the way she want them, like, shit, approach them. Like, you know what I mean? Like, hey,
no.
Go up to them. You said no?
Because it's that could be dangerous for her. Why? Because okay,
what, reality ahead?
Like we all agree that she does not meet the societal standard of beauty, right? So that's something that's just a fact that we can all agree on. So I would say like she could approach men if she did meet the societal standard of beauty, but if she didn't, I would say just on an optics level, it would look kind of desperate.
I would say she could.
I don't think so.
I think women should do that. I think
you know how many times men get rejected? Like you guys got to hit a reality to shit. Like then you could understand. Okay, she can't get herself whatever, a Chris Brown or whatever the case may be. Maybe you need to look more along the Charlemagne area or something like that. Like,
take her number?
Huh?
If she approached any one of y'all, would y'all take her number and take her out on a date?
No, but I would tell her that. I'm like,
I gotta see the video again.
Yeah. Yeah, I would,
if I'm not interested, I'm not interested. Just like
I would entertain the conversation, but I wouldn't lead her on or take her number, but I would respect her for even approaching me and having a conversation. Like, I would take that into consideration.
It might depend on the night.
Like I said, he trying to smash. That's it.
But I gotta see the video again. I ain't really see how she's looking.
In my opinion, I don't see nothing wrong with approaching a man. I feel like a lot of people, most women, look at it like, oh, that's too masculine. Like, yeah, of course, don't go up to a man trying to come up to him like how a man would come up to you. But it's so many feminine ways that you can approach a man, starting off a conversation or whatnot, that he would still feel masculine and you would still rest in your femininity. Like,
it's funny how they could call that masculine, but be masculine in other shit that they don't want to change.
Okay.
Let me mind my business.
And be honest with you, nobody likes rejection, especially women. Women do not like rejection. Like, you know what I'm saying?
That's true.
They're not going to really put themselves in a situation to be rejected unless they're 100% sure that the guy's interested in him, like, in her.
Women say they don't even attempt to have sex because they don't want to get rejected. Like a nigga gonna say no. Like, come on, you know a nigga gonna say no.
And I ain't going front, man. If you don't want to be rejected, I know she said you can still be in your feminine, but if you send a nigga a drink, whatever, from you, like, oh, that lady sent the drink over there, that's a cool way. I mean, you all the way over here, you can't get rejected. If he fuck with you, he gonna come over and speak to you. So I mean,
that was go-tos,
but it depends on who it's coming from.
Huh?
It depends on who it's coming from. Now, let's say a woman that looks like Rumpelstiltskin sent you a drink. Like,
I'm gonna give her a toast from over here and tell her thank you.
Yeah, sometimes you got to make that investment. Men make investment all the time when we in the club. Like, sometimes it works, sometimes it don't. Like, you got to make that investment. You're interested, like, you know what I mean? But I want to get into the next, and I think this is gonna be the last topic we talk about. But yeah, make sure y'all hit that like button. Make sure y'all support us on the socials. Dailyrapupcrew on Instagram and on TikTok. And yeah, if y'all want to send a super chat, and we definitely appreciate it. You know what I mean? Getting to this last topic, it says, is the manosphere deceiving men? I know that's really been the manosphere has been rising on, social media platforms, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok. Do you think it's deceiving and or hurting men and their perspectives about women? Rose, I do want to start Rose first because I know Rose, should be on it with it when it comes to the manosphere talking points and stuff like that. So what's your thoughts?
Okay. I think that the manosphere is like the tip of the iceberg, and then there's everything else, I feel like, right? So the tip of the iceberg, the general messaging is like when the advice on getting men in the gym, right? Getting men to invest in businesses, to pursue entrepreneurial endeavors, to take more pride in their appearance. Those kinds of things, great. But then when we start getting into pandering to incels, that area of the manosphere, I really have an issue with, because I don't think, instead of blaming women who we don't have a lot of power, by the way, I'm just letting it, as women, we really don't have a lot of power. I'm just being realistic. Like, we don't have power in the media. We don't have power in the financial institutions. We don't have power in, like, the real system, the criminal justice system.
That's cap. That's cap.
He ain't wasting no time. He just talk right.
I only say that because women are the biggest consumers in America. So when you talk about pandering, the media has been pandering to women specifically, you know what I mean, over the last decade or even longer than that. So and they do it specifically because they understand the market of women, being consumers. So there is power in that, because certain people the Derek Jacksons of the world, the Steve Harveys of the world, people will pander specifically to a woman's emotions and her feelings because they know they could profit off of that. So that is a form of power. Huh?
How does that equate to power?
That's a form of power. Like,
how does that consumer base affect your taxes? Affect, like, your specific, as a Black man, your tax bracket, or the disenfranchised communities in the Black community? How does that affect the fact that our schools are underfunded? Those are the bigger problems.
You're talking, but we're talking about like pandering. You're saying because we was talking about pandering specifically, and because you said women didn't have powers. I'm stating the fact that because women are the biggest consumers, people and corporations tend to pander to women, and or even, that's why when we get to the believe all women thing, if a woman accuses a man of something, even if there's not, the whole Amber Heard and Johnny Heard thing, even if there's not enough evidence there, people will go out and cancel Johnny Heard and, take away all his endeavors because the woman has that power. And I'm not saying that with all situations, but again, there is places where women do have the power, and we have to take that into consideration.
I'm gonna be 100% with you. I don't think that's fair, and I think that's not fair, because for every woman that is lying about sexual assault or abuse, there's no penalties of the truth and whose stories are not being heard. That's just the bottom line about it. Okay, when you
there's no ramifications for them. There's no penalties. There's nothing happening to them. So I mean,
I agree. Like honestly, the on Amber Heard, like I'm glad that she got what she deserved. I'm a realistic person when it comes to that. But back to the manosphere and back to because we got off topic. I think that the overall messaging for men to get to like better themselves and level up and like, you know, refrain from watching porn and all that stuff, it's great. I love the messaging on that aspect, which is why like certain men in the manosphere I don't really have an issue with. But when it comes to like the way that they just talk about women, like the way the manosphere talks about women and the way that they blame feminism for the problems that society has brought, for the problems that the oppressive systems that are really oppressing you, like you said, the Jews, like it could be them, who knows? But I'm saying
it could be feminism too. Don't ignore that. Don't act like they're not a part of that cult. And I feel like men are just speaking. We live in a house with black women, so if they're not listening to us at home, and we're all talking together, maybe they'll hear us. I think, and I feel like some women just get hooked on. There are some guys who are aggressive and maybe saying the wrong things in the wrong tone, but overall, the message is we want women to hold themselves accountable in this relationship. We've been shitted on for 1,000 years, whether we was providing, protecting, and all that. Yeah, women were still looking for something to be mad at a man about.
No, listen, but so are women. So here's where we pivot.
And y'all had the voice. Y'all always been the voice.
Here's where we make progress. Instead of fighting at and bickering with one another and trying to point the finger at one another, let's point the finger at the oppressive. Let's look up at the oppressive system. That's
no. But no. I can't have you point your finger at me for 1,000 days, right? And then when I'm trying to talk, let's point at the oppressor. You're gonna hear me out. You're gonna hear my problems. You're gonna understand what I'm telling you, and then we can go move on. You gotta listen to me as well.
Right, and who's telling the women to point at the oppressors that was bashing men for years and shit like that?
They did show us more on that part.
But men made up. Men are kind of into that institution as well because men are the ones with the positions of power in this country. Like, let's be realistic about that.
What kind of men are we talking about? White men?
We're talking about white men.
Okay. All right. So why do you think white men will have a problem with black men bashing black women bashing black men?
White men don't care. They love when we bicker.
Exactly. Exactly. So
they
gonna allow that. They gonna say, yeah, go talk your shit. Go talk your shit.
They love when we sit here on the internet and bicker at each other back and forth, which is why I really think the manosphere stuff took off. No cap, because it really allowed Black people to be distracted from our real issues. You know?
But it's not. But let's get it confused. It's not just Black. Like I think a lot of people confuse the manosphere with just Black men, and there's a lot of white men. You know what I mean? Talking about these same issues with their women. There's Asian men, you know, to a certain extent. There's groups of men, not just Black men, that are having these same issues with their women. You know what I mean? When it comes to the male and female dynamics, obviously it's just because we popularize a lot of things. You know what I mean? And within the space or whatever the case is. But I think the fact that I agree with you, Rose. There is men that do take this to the extreme, and it does come off as hate speech, or they really dislike women. And I don't condone those men at all, but I do respect men having a platform to speak about the issues that they go through as well. Like, you know what I mean?
Of course. And which is why I said that it's great, the advice that they're giving men on bettering themselves and stuff like that. I really like that aspect of the manosphere, and I respect it. But the other stuff, I can't get with it because and let me just be honest. When I would rather men in the manosphere really hone in on that narrative of bettering themselves as men and talking about the issues that affect them as men, and talking about the real cause of it instead of blaming it all on feminism. That's my only thing. Okay, women are out here fighting for their lives all over the world, and for a superpower like America to have this narrative spun that feminism is evil is dangerous. It's a dangerous message to even spread throughout the rest of the world. That's all I'm saying.
But the same way you're saying, the same way, I'm sorry, Keem. You can read that super chat. I'll read it. I'll throw it after.
Regular said we live in a genocentric social order where everything caters to women, and women are currently in charge of the World Bank. So explain that, my dear Rose.
How are women in charge of world banks? I'm gonna need some.
I'm not completely. I have to do my research on that. But again, the same way that you will say the manosphere is, almost feeding these false narratives to men about, women and feminism. We could say feminism is doing the same thing to women. Like I've heard women on multiple occasions say the words "I hate men." Like they could be misandrous as much as they want. We got platforms like Cynthia G who can talk about the blatant genocide of black male fetuses, and it's still allowed to have a platform. But the minute Andrew Tate or somebody, Kevin Samuels or somebody, we so quick to silence and cancel them, but we allow women to spew their anti-men rhetoric and say how much they hate men and men are the worst things ever in life. We allow those platforms, those women to have these large platforms and speak to the majority of women. But for some reason, when men are speaking up and expressing their frustrations that they might have with certain women, it becomes you guys need to focus on the white man, or like I don't have this same smoke for the women that do the same thing in their respective, spheres and stuff like that. What's your thoughts on this?
This is my thing about the manosphere, because I ain't gonna name drop channels. Now I don't know if y'all look at yourselves as manosphere. I don't see y'all as that type of content.
We're
like
Jace.
People like, huh?
Say we're a Jace.
Yeah, manosphere.
Yeah, people like you, people like Cruise Season and stuff like that. Like that's the type of podcast I watch. Like before, when I used to get in, when I got introduced to Red Pill Black Manosphere, it was like, okay, finally a podcast that even though I'm not a man, I can feel what they're coming from, and they're expressing the changes that they want in the Black community between the men and the women. But then it kind of switched to now it really is not even the actual podcast, it's the people in the comments. Like if you look at the comments, like they creating little monsters where they will sit here and take what a Kevin Samuels is saying or whoever is saying, and then flip it and turn it and then like go all over. And then now you want to do this whole female bashing thing. And that's clearly not what he was saying. Okay, like you, and then too, let's be honest, and it might sound a little petty, but if you look at the men who are talking, they don't get play in real life. Period. And I know they're petty, but they don't get play in real life. They probably some 400-pound dude on the computer typing up, going in, and it's like, dude, what are you doing? Like, are you trying to build the Black community? Are you trying to keep it together? Or are you on this whole thing? Well, let's get our passports and, we need to get with these overseas women. But then when they start stabbing you up, then it's like, okay, let's come home. So it goes both ways.
And in reality, we don't know who's behind these keyboards, though. You get what I'm saying? It could be a white blonde hair.
Right. They could be some white guy trying to pretend like he's a Black guy, but some of and the same thing with the pink pill. I don't get into the pink pill female spirit, however you want to put it, because it's like it's the same thing. You're trying to tear apart like the Cynthia G's. I don't get into that.
Yeah, like I don't like her rhetoric at all.
Yeah, I don't say nothing about these divestment movements. Women are conveniently quiet when these divestment channels are saying their rhetoric about Black men. I don't hear women speak up about that.
She got a baby by a dusty Black guy, though.
Yeah, but like I said, I don't hear women having the same energy and the same smoke for those channels. But when it comes to men and men having the platforms to express their experiences with women, it's like, oh, well, y'all should be worried about other things. Like I just want equal smoke. If y'all got the smoke for the men, then go to the section and have the smoke for the women as well.
I'm only one person. It ain't too many Indians. It ain't too many Six the Goddess.
Yeah.
It ain't too many, what's the other? She kind of got a little deep voice. I like her rhetoric though. She be sitting in the car. I forgot her name.
Well, y'all need to unite.
Huh?
Y'all need to unite.
Yeah, like we do. It's not too many of us. It's too many of. I feel like the Cynthia G's panders to women because that's what makes women feel good to like, yeah, let's tear these black men down because I've been oppressed all this time. It's like you're not even going to the people that's really oppressing you. How can we as black people, how can a black man oppress you and he's oppressed? Like make it make sense.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's it. That was my main thing. I'm so glad you said that, India, because honestly, that was always been my main thing.
Love Dorsey, yeah.
Black men, at the end of the day, like I said this so many times, even in this live stream, black men at the end of the day are suffering from the same oppressive systems that black women are suffering under. Let's just get that out the way, okay? But with the black divester movement and all that stuff, like there's something deeply wrong with those women. And honestly, shame on Cynthia G, honestly, for exploiting the trauma that black women face. Because let's be honest, just like, and what you said about the people in the comments, like the manosphere breeds the most evil type of people. Like even in the last podcast that we did that with y'all, like some of the comments that some of the DMs that I got from that podcast were very positive. Like they liked how I spoke and everything like that. But I got so many men that, and when I clicked on their profiles, they don't get play. Like obviously, clearly black women for one reason or another have rejected them. And they were going in on me. And it's like, I really don't think I said anything that was misandrous, or I think for the most part, I was being fair to both parties. And the same thing with the women, like they are so traumatized, just like these men are probably very traumatized, and they take it out on the people who are bold enough to get on camera and speak their opinions. It takes a very special type of person to sit on camera and say their opinions unhethered and let people just go in on them. So that's just that you have to accept that kind of criticism. But when you see Cynthia G is very irresponsible, and a lot of manosphere players are irresponsible because they don't realize when they're reading the same comments we're reading. And instead of being like, hey, yo, chill, like not too much, like, or they encourage it because they get paid and it's financially beneficial for them. So that's why I feel like a lot of times the manosphere does kind of mislead men, because the more men.
I hear you, and I just think you think like that because you're a woman. You get what I'm saying? Like, so of course you're only going to see it from that perspective. We have a clip that just went viral and is on the on-site on IG, and all the woman said was women be lying, lying about how happy they are with their men. And I'm in the comments, and women are telling me they hate me, and I'm saying why? Well, can we come?
Well, what did you say?
And I'm telling them, like, I'm just trying to come with a solution so we can fix this. I'll screenshot it, send it to you, and then all they saying is, fuck.
But the fact that that's your first response is, what did you say? What did you say? If women are just these perfect
victim blaming.
I'm not victim blaming. I'm just saying, look, it makes, like, a lot of women are not as happy in their relationships as they make it out to be. They're not.
But you shouldn't just hate all men because of that.
Because no, nobody's saying hate all men. Who is
but
saying
that's
that?
what they're replying. I'm gonna screenshot it, then you're gonna see. So why is one man responsible for every man? Like this one dude is everybody now. Everybody get the same love, the same energy.
But again, like India said, like the comments with men and with Cynthia G's comments.
When you say comments overall, I can listen to you. But when you saying only in the manosphere,
no, I didn't though. I didn't. I said the comments in Cynthia, the people in Cynthia G's comments as well. Like I said both. Like
you was heavy on that.
I think again,
women. But we're talking about the manosphere. That's why I emphasize the manosphere, because we're talking about the manosphere.
Women for some reason are trying to censor the internet. Like these are people behind keyboards and they're just words. And the fact that we like, oh, but the comments, who cares? Like these people don't know you in real life. They don't, you know what I mean? It's just everybody is going to voice their comments. I had clips on TikTok, IG, where women were coming at me. Am I going to bed sleeping? Damn, this comment section, these random people in the comments got me upset. They don't know me in real life. Like, yeah, I think sometimes women give too much. And I understand there is toxic comments, you know what I mean? But you can go at any platform and see toxic comments. This ain't really exclusive to the manosphere specifically.
No, I wasn't saying like I'm putting like I'm losing sleep over comments. Like I'm like, damn, that motherfucker that was user 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 10. No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying I don't think all of them mean to do it, but sometimes they do create these type of people in the comments. And these comments, even though we don't know, they're not just robots. Now they might be a fake account, but somebody behind that keyboard or phone is real. So they're spewing into the everyday, like coming into women's lives, and we thinking like, okay, this guy is cool, but whole time you don't know who he's following on his YouTube, and he's somewhere going in on women. But the same thing with the Cynthia G people. So I will be fair. The Cynthia G women, you look at the comments, they, oh girl, yeah, you go girl, get them niggas, da 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 da. But if you peel the layer back and you see their profile and you see them in real life, who they got a child with? The same dudes that they complain about.
They're traumatized. Yeah,
both ways.
Yeah,
they're traumatized.
Let me get to the super chat real quick, man. Okie Boy said it took off because Ben never had a voice. Women always had a voice. Essence, The View, Steve Harvey, Oprah, etc. We never had anything out here specifically talking from a man's point of view.
I think Lake, Jenny Jones, all those other white women.
I think there is some validity to that statement because me growing up, I've never seen any type of male content media outside of sports that really, was talking about the issues that men go through. Like, you know what I mean?
And
like, so
people like Kevin Samuels blew up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like, and because, like I said,
let me get to the next one. This last one. Yuri says some people in the manosphere are crazy as fuck, but the women in their feminist spaces are just as, if not more crazy. Come on now, we are not each other's enemies. Let's be more understanding to each other.
I think we're going to be in a space where y'all just gonna have to hear men's voices for the next couple of years because we had to hear women's voices forever. And like I said, I don't think it's gonna be a forever thing. I think men are going to express, their issues. You know what I mean? And I think ultimately we will come to I hope we come to a solution and be able to work with each other, men and women, more effectively together. But this is part of the process. Men are going to have to express, the hurt, the trauma, the things, the issues that they have with women. You know what I mean? For the next couple of years, y'all gonna have to sit down and hear it, whether y'all like it or agree or disagree.
Yes, but I also I want to take it upon the men to really, instead of just don't be so shallow with your takes on the problems in the male in the community and the problems with like how men are treated. Don't be so shallow with your takes. Please read. That's all I'm encouraging men to do. Instead of just blaming it on feminism, instead of just blaming it on feminism, let me finish. Instead of just blaming it on feminism, because that's what, even in y'all comments, I'm reading like people, feminism, the world got so much worse because of feminism, da da da. Like, instead of blaming it on women, please just dig a little deeper. That's all I'm asking y'all to do. Dig a little deeper.
What have women been doing this whole time?
I'm not saying
the feminist movement
about the manosphere, but you're right. We're talking about the manosphere, but you're right. You're right. And I don't, like I said, I denounce those kind of women as well. Like, chill, bruh. Like,
she said, chill,
like, just chill. Like, but like men and women, like,
so
bring
look,
down the temperature a little bit.
Say you want men to be the bigger person while being a feminist. You get what I'm saying? You got to equally tell the women.
I didn't say that. I said both parties. Must bring down the temperature.
Men. You said men are being shallow. I need them to read more. Da, 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 da.
I mean, y'all are.
See, again, it's easy for you to generalize all men, but then when men do it, it's
I'm not generalizing, and I'm not generalizing. What y'all want me to do is equally criticize women.
And you haven't. You haven't held women accountable.
About the manosphere. We're talking about the manosphere.
If I'm having a conversation with you, right, and I'm doing something wrong, and I'm like, yeah, that too. It's not sincere. You get what I'm saying?
No, it's like you're pointing the finger away from what we're actually talking about. We're talking about the manosphere. Now, if you want to talk about the red pill community, like the femisphere, like the women, we can talk about them all day long.
I'm saying it's a cause to an effect. You get what I'm saying? You're pointing out what men are doing, right? In the same aspect, but I'm saying you want them to change and them to respect women. And I agree with that 100%. But I said, like Eli's been saying, keep that same energy across the border.
But here's the thing with that, right? I agree with you, but the whataboutism, it just irks me every time. It's just the whataboutism for me. Like, that's all it really is for me.
So what are you doing when you're referring to men? when you're flipping the narrative each time.
Yeah.
When it's pointed at women, you go right back, what a bism, and then it's just like read.
We're talking about men.
Like
we're talking about men.
Yeah, but like I said, I think the manosphere is a direct response to the years of women expressing their dislike and hatred for men. You get what I'm saying? So it's a cycle.
But don't you think there's something to that?
And don't you think there's something to the men in the manosphere? Like
I said, I gave credit where credit was due. There's definitely parts of the manosphere that I respect.
Bro, you said you like the part where men are improving. Like that's what you said. Like you never say you like the part where men are holding other people accountable. All you said is you like men improving. Obviously, you will like men improving. All women like that.
Duh.
Anybody would like that.
You don't really like the manosphere, basically. Like if you keep it in 100.
No, I think that the extremes on both sides is what a lot of people focus on. And if we just continue to focus on the extremes of both sides, then we're never gonna get anywhere. Like ever.
Yo, Okie boy said I'm about to use a female tactic. Rose, who hurt you?
That's another tactic right there.
I just read.
She says she just read. I don't know.
Anyway, man, this is a great conversation. We have to get up out of here. You know, us regular people still got to work, you know, in the morning. So, go ahead, India.
I got, I don't know if I could be on the next one, but I have one last question that I seen on another clip on Instagram. And this is totally off topic a little bit, but can men and women be friends? I don't know if that should be held on for next week or whenever, but
I did have that topic. I don't know. Y'all think we should get into that real quick?
Yeah,
about that.
I do have that clip here. Let me see.
Why you can't let them have guy friends if you are secure with your relationship?
I'm a guy. I used to be that guy friend, and I smashed several times. Like when they had a boyfriend. Like
I burnt a few bridges doing that. So I realized once you do find a good friend, it ain't worth that one because that's about it. Was gonna be about 1, 2. And then y'all never gonna speak again. It's gonna be mad tension. It ain't worth it. You hear what I'm saying? So I rather, respect my friendship.
That's you, but most guys would take that opportunity, especially because you already this is a person you already feel comfortable with. Like if you in a relationship and y'all going through some turmoil with your boyfriend, who you gonna vent to? The guy. So now you vulnerable to him. Y'all break up. Who you gonna go to? The guy that's you're most comfortable with, which is that guy friend. And
let's
he's gonna
say you're
take
not
advantage.
even why do guys, any attractive woman, why do they just wanna? Why can't they just
be friends? That's like questioning male nature. Like
that's like pulling cracking from the crackhead.
I have this story. I always say this, right? I was in a relationship, and I'm gonna be vulnerable with y'all real quick. I say this all the time. I was in a relationship, and the woman swore up and down that this was just a guy friend, and I was being insecure, and this, that, and the third. We ended up, we broke up or whatever the case is. It wasn't on bad terms and nothing. We just broke up. And guess who she got with? The guy friend. Like, you get what I'm saying? So I'm not saying this happens all the time, but it's interesting that women want to keep their guy friends, but when a guy has a female friend, now it becomes, oh, well, why you got a female? Like, y'all want to keep y'all guy friends, but don't want us to keep our female friends. What's up with that?
This is the only time I feel like the opposite sex can be friends.
They can or can't?
Can.
Okay.
He or she is gay. He or she is unattractive. You probably talked to my sister, or I talked to your boy or something like that, or a family member. On those guidelines, cool. But if you're attracted to me and let's just say two attractive people, just, oh yeah, that's my bro. Yeah, okay, until it gets one of those nights, oh yeah, come over, we're gonna have some friends, and then y'all the only ones cleaning up while everybody going. And then there's still dishes in the sink the next morning because y'all naked in the bed.
Yeah. What's your thoughts? Nicole, you was on that episode clearly. Like, you know what I'm saying? I can't remember your thoughts, but it was so long ago, man. But what's your thoughts on this topic?
Oh, there's no being no friends with the opposite sex, especially when it comes to a man. Y'all know y'all can't handle, especially when a woman is attractive. Y'all, it's always somewhere along the line, like she said, y'all could be cleaning up after a kickback, and next thing you know, y'all in the bed, or you trying to hit on her or something like that. Like, nah, it does not work. It does not work at all. It never ends well. Like Eli said, when you break up, now she's with the god doggone friend who she was talking about. That was her bro. Yeah. She done hooked up with the bro. So no.
And she used all the tactics. Oh, you acting insecure, this, that, and she used all the tactics to make me feel guilty about my reservations for her and this guy friend. And I knew what time it was. Like, she was an attractive woman. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, eventually he would try to shoot a shot.
I'm sorry that happened to you, Eli. Damn.
Yo, Yuri said to answer the question, hell the fuck no, not even a little bit, unless y'all are not attracted to each other. Julie,
I agree. If there's been sexual tension in a friendship, like, come on now, be realistic about it. I made a video on TikTok that was like, I'm not friends with, I don't date men who have a lot of female friends. I know what that looks like, because all the guy friends, and I put this in air quotes, all the guy friends that I have are attracted to me. I know they're attracted to me. So if we're being realistic here, like, no, I don't. And honestly, if you respect your relationship, like, I don't have any male friends right now because I'm with somebody. So, and I respect my relationship. So I'm not gonna sit here and just disrespect this man by kicking with a dude right in his face while we're laid up together. Like, that's crazy.
But we had this conversation earlier. You said that your guy friends, the relationship started with them trying to shoot their shot and you friend zoning them. So
yeah, most of my guy friends, again, they started off as me just friend zoning them.
Right. So like, if you are friend zoning somebody, that means that they didn't want to be there. So the minute that you get them the chance to shoot that shot, nigga, they in there like Steph Curry. You know what I mean?
Exactly. I agree. So that's why I really don't think men and women can be friends. I actually, in my more, in my more wild days, when I came back, I told y'all this story. When I came back from my freshman year of college, I ended up sleeping with one of my longtime friends, and I never spoke to that man again, ever. And I lost a really good friend because of that situation, and it will never happen.
Nut. It ain't worth it. Look,
according to her, she ain't even nut.
That's why it wasn't worth it. That nigga would have moved your back out. It would have been worth it. Like, you know
this is why I do believe you can be right. I've been in a situation where I did lose a friend or two or three or four, but I did lose a few friends, and it just never been the same afterwards. And I do got a female best friend. Everybody knows my female best friend, and this is how close we are. She sleeps at my house with my girl. No, not with me, but with my girl. My kids sleep with her. Like, she comes watch my kids when I'm going somewhere. This is like my best friend. She's an attractive woman. I don't think she's like unattractive. You get what I'm saying? But I respect her as a sister. I met this woman. I cried to her when I know I was about to have my first kid. I trust this woman with every detail of my life. I would never have sex or do any, I swear to God, because I wouldn't want to lose her as a friend because I trust her with so much. You get what I'm saying? Like, a fuck is a fuck. After that, it's over. I've done it. I've seen it not work. Now, if it had worked a few times where we could have still been cool, I might agree with y'all. But the fact that I know what you lose in the process, I would never want to lose her friendship. I swear.
Once you cross that line, it's hard to come back.
No going back. There's no talking.
So shout out to you for being an upstanding gentleman, like, you know what I mean? But I'm gonna be honest with you, most men, they're gonna test them waters, like you. And I've been, if I'm talking from experience, I've experienced one end, you know what I mean, where the woman.
But you experienced me.
And I also have been the guy friend, you get what I'm saying, who had a boyfriend that was able to get inside her gut. So you get what I'm saying? So I understand. And she was introducing me like, yeah, this the bro, this the big bro. Like, she was introducing me to.
That's what I said when they call you bro.
The big bro, I
big bro. How you know he big?
Both of y'all seen my best friend, and y'all know y'all would never see anything happen like that. So I mean,
I too have female best friends. No, I mean,
you look like you done tried your female best friend.
I feel like if you have a female best friend, you should just go ahead and fuck with them. Like, I feel like if you have a female friend that is like really close to you and y'all get along really well, that I feel like that would make a really good relationship. Like, y'all should be together. That would make a great relationship.
But like you said, I wouldn't want to lose her as a friend. So let's say we did try to go down that relationship route and it didn't work. Could we go back to just being friends?
No.
No, you couldn't go back to just being friends. But like,
so why would I take that risk?
A lot of people who have like long-term successful marriages, they were friends first. They were like really good friends first.
Now that's yeah. I mean, that is true. That is very much true. I honestly don't have a female best friend. I did have female friends, but all the females that keep around me tend to be attractive. So, you know, unless you just a BBW and just somebody I just don't find attractive, then you know, I'm not saying I'm blatantly going to shoot my shot, but we're going to be comfortable enough with each other where we're going to find, you know, I do
agree with
understand how hurtful it is to really vibe and genuinely be a friend or feel like you're friends with a guy and then they try you. I hate it. Like, I've never had a successful friendship with a guy because of that, and that really bothers me a whole lot. Because
what you say, King?
Say because she got the wag, but India. I do agree with India.
I know y'all be attractive as hell.
What you say? What did you say?
She got the wagon back there, man. Stop playing.
She got the waggy, but I do agree with India when she said that is certain situations, because I got a best friend. I met her through my bro, and that was his girl. So because that's my brother, I would never cross that line with her. You feel me? So that's it for us. Now, I mean, like, no matter what.
Yeah, that.
You look like you would now. Ace, he look like he tries all his friends, but Eli.
Yo, I don't like how I'm being stereotyped on this line.
Eli look like one of those guys. Eli give off one of those guys where you be like, you will think, oh yeah, he's just a bro, but then Eli be like,
he's sliding your DMs at 2 a.m.
and you be drunk and you blowing Eli's phone up.
Wait, so why you believe Jew and not me though? Jew.
Not said Eli.
He said Eli.
Nigga took offense. Nigga said Eli got
to I'm surrounded by women in my family, so I know how to have a conversation with a woman without trying to get in her pants.
No, I think you're struggling. You don't know which side you want.
Ace gives one of those dudes where he hits up his female.
I'm deliberate.
Yo, come on.
But I also have been a guy who's been in relationships and I cut off my female friends to accommodate the woman that I'm dating because it made her feel uncomfortable. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I have done that. I've done that, and I've been in situations where the woman I've dated didn't want to cut off her guy friends because she felt like she had that longevity connection, even though it was her ex. You know what I mean? That's a whole nother story. But, you know,
there's a difference between female friends
that just doesn't develop those kind of deep connections with men. Like, I'm sorry, like, there is not a single man that I know platonically that if my man asked me to cut him off, that I wouldn't cut him off. Like, it's nothing.
I don't think I real friends. Cut off my best friend.
I have best friends. But they're all women.
No, I'm talking about male friends. You don't got no real male friends.
Not really, like, no.
Right.
I mean,
so you can easily cut them off.
In the comments. That's what the friends were.
My girl and my best friend, they're cool. They're not like, like even when my best friend comes spend the weekend at my crib, it's like they say minimum amount of words, but they don't like just be chilling. We be chilling, and my girl be in the room. Like, it is.
Yo, but keep it a buck.
We both said that we both did the same look.
Keep it a buck, Jew. Has your girl always been the most comfortable of your relationship with your bestie?
I feel like she was spectacle at one point. You get what I'm saying? Like, she was serious about it. But like I'm saying, like, overall, this woman comes and watch our kid. You get what I'm saying? You gotta be real motherfucking trifling. I'm not saying it's not trifling people, but I'm not trifling. You get
niggas be fucking in me all the time, bro. Like,
you know what else too? Because I also chill with my girl homegirls, not like outside of her, but I'm just a people person. Like, I could talk.
How does your girl feel about that clip you posted? And it was a couple of 304s, and one of them was barefooted, looked like her feet was black at the bottom, and she was shaking her butt. And then the other one, she was kind of clapping it, the little light-skinned chick. Boy, I was like, don't we got a girlfriend?
You talking about the OnlyFans one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, well, My women know that I'm only attracted to black women, so they already lost.
Oh, were they Hispanic?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Look,
I don't know what they. I really don't even know what they was. Be honest.
I just feel
they
like
wasn't melanated. Like they wasn't as melanated. Like
yeah.
I mean,
if they came out there looking like me alone, she might be in trouble. I ain't gonna hold you. I'm joking.
Look, I see a lot of comments that's like Rose hates men. Honestly, don't you want a woman that doesn't really like other, like, not that I hate all men, but wouldn't you want your girl to really despise all other men except you?
No, I want her to understand what men go through.
Yeah, I do.
Well, you kind of play yourself.
I'm gonna have to agree with Rose, man. Hate on them other niggas.
Men kind of look at you kind of goofy when, like, you be like, "Hey, man, like, what's the time? Boy, get out my face! I got a man." And he like, "Girl, shut your goofy ass up."
Well, okay. Obviously, I'm not talking about that, but I'm just saying, like, I don't hate men. I know I'm giving off this whatever. I'm just a feminist, and I don't hate men. But men have made feminism as women hating men. I don't hate men. I just understand women. And that's just what you can't blame me for understanding my people. You can't blame me for understanding my sisters and understanding the struggle that women are going through currently in America and abroad and other parts of the world. We cannot stop having this conversation. So
we're not blaming you for understanding your gender and your people. We're just
always biased to their people too. You know that, right?
Yeah, we just don't like the bias. Like, I mean,
black people are biased to their own community. Black people are biased to their own community, aren't they? Aren't we?
We gotta be. We gotta be because nobody else.
I gotta cape for my girls. I gotta cape for my girls.
But we in the same community,
and we ain't oppressing y'all. Like,
I wish more men.
Black men are not oppressing black women. So why is there such a pushback against black men? Like, specifically, like, we not in positions of power to oppress y'all. Like, we never been in America. Now it would make sense if you say from Ethiopia, right?
I agree. And that's why I kept saying that the same systems that are oppressing men are the same systems that are oppressing black women. I said that so many times. Mm-hmm. Like, y'all can't deny that I said that so many times. Like, it's just, it is what it is. And it's not any particular group's fault. It's not black men's fault about what black women are going through. And it's not black women's fault for what black men are going through. Punch up. That's what I'm saying.
All right, but tell your women that too. Though.
Yeah, all your black feminist friends, make sure you tell them to punch up at the white man. Like, you know what I'm saying? Don't punch down on the black man.
I'm not friends with those kind of black feminists.
What? Anyway, man, we gotta get up out of here. Like I said, we still average working people. But we appreciate everybody for tuning in. If y'all didn't like the video already, make sure y'all like it on the way out. And tomorrow, make sure y'all tune in to the episode. I believe it's 3 p.m. tomorrow. We're gonna be in a live. We always in a live chat talking to everybody. So make sure y'all tune in.
Yo, man, you got another clip for the people?
Shout out to
I got a lot of clips, but I didn't even cue them up, and be honest with you. Like,
the worst. Come on, man. One in the chat if Eli eat ass, y'all. One in the chat.
Oh my gosh, bro. You was being mature this whole show, and then they gonna be immature. Like, yo, but ladies, again, real quick, if y'all could just let them know where they can follow you at, and then we get up out of here. Y'all manually wrote one in the chat. I forgot it. Indy, I'm gonna start with you. Where can the people find you at?
India, they waiting for this.
Huh?
I said they waiting for this. Go ahead.
Who, for me or for the girls?
For you.
Oh, we.
I seen a couple people in it.
India _ Michelle on TikTok and Instagram, and on YouTube, India Michelle. Sundays at 6 p.m. Central Time, because I live in Houston, but I'm always with the 919 period. But you can also find me on Ultimate Black Men podcast on YouTube every Sunday at 6 p.m. Central Time. That'll be 7 p.m. East Coast.
Tune in.
Yo, Amber said, "What's up with the mansion party? What mansion party?"
She talking about that sex party off the OnlyFans page. Oh. Amber, you're a freak.
All right, word.
That's what you talking about.
We is working on that. You know what I mean? Like,
word. We gonna let you know, Amber.
He said he gonna take off his veneers for you.
Got it. I got it.
Yo, Nicole, damn, what happened to Rose?
Rose said that's my cue to go.
Yeah, that's my cue to go. I think about Yo, Nicole, where can they follow you at?
You guys can follow me on Instagram at Denisha Nicole.
She left.
Mm-hmm. Damn, I was gonna wait a couple for her to come back in so she give out her shit. Damn, I'm trying to. What's her IG? Her IG is
Nah, I ain't go to the. I ain't go to the mansion party. I think it got canceled or some shit.
Maybe she don't want to give her IG. They probably not gonna be friendly. So.
Oh yeah, she did say they was on her case from the last episode.
Oh, and I will say this, since Ace was saying they was waiting for me to drop my social accounts. Please do not be weird when you DM me.
Mm-hmm.
Don't be weird.
But you single? You single, India?
Yes, I'm in Houston, Texas.
Go down.
I am single.
Are you in Houston? Oh.
Yo, just know our peoples, they do go on your DMs and they shoot they shot.
They just be a little too weird for me. It's okay to say I'm beautiful and stuff like that, but don't. Yeah,
yo, Amber not playing. All right, yo.
All right, yeah.
Send the DM, Amber.
She on that demon time, and
we'll keep you updated. Send the DM.
Yo, Amber, who you looking for? You want Eli or Ace to pull up? That's what I'm trying to instigate.
She's trying to send that Amber alert out to niggas. You know what I'm saying? She on time and like, but I think Rose her TikTok is miss.rosebaby. Y'all go follow her on there. I'm pretty sure she got an Instagram linked over there. And yeah, man, we appreciate y'all for tuning in and make sure y'all tune in tomorrow to that episode.
I appreciate you guys. Thank y'all. I'm a little tired, so I was kind of today, but I really do appreciate y'all. India, you were awesome. I'm gonna definitely follow you. Oh, there go Rose.
Sorry, y'all.
Just talking shit.
I know. I got it pulled up on my laptop too.
Okay.
Yeah, the folks want to know where they can follow you at.
Okay, y'all can follow me on TikTok at Miss Baby Rose. I'd love to hear what y'all think about my videos. Follow me on Instagram at itsmiss.rose_.
Mm-hmm.
She's a cool person once you meet her, for real. She's cool.
All right. And you single too, Rose?
Tripping a little bit.
No,
not
she said
currently.
she got
Not currently.
Oh, not currently. Okay.
That sounds like she could be persuaded, y'all.
Y'all, don't
everybody
get me cussed out, okay?
Everybody's single until they married, man. Like, I mean, that's just how it is.
Look at the devil. Look at the devil creeping in right at
y'all appreciate y'all for tuning in, man.